Chapter 6:15. Genius 1 second remember love, go, Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Not to mention the Tianfeng dynasty, the current Heaven's Terminus Tower had the power to crush even the other great dynasties combined. The forces of the 9 Regions Tower in addition to the strength of the headquarters and the first base had already dominated a region. The forces of Tianji Tower directly pushed forward, and the giants were watching from behind. This time, Tianji Tower planned to directly cripple the Tianfeng dynasty, because the Tianfeng dynasty had crossed the bottom line of Tianji Tower. When Tianji Tower advanced 200,000 miles, a man in a silver robe appeared and directly blocked the advance of Tianji Tower's forces. Several venerables were repelled, including the invincible venerable of the North Sea domain, Bei Tiange. Wu Lingfei, Lin Yuandao, Guoxiao, and Le Trinxuan, who received the news, all rushed to the city called Wing-Spreading City. Saint, are you going to participate in the war? Wu Lingfei's golden phoenix soft armor protected her body as she directly rose into the air and stood opposite the silver-robed man. Saints shouldn't participate in such a war, but if I don't show up, the Tianfeng dynasty will be destroyed by Tianji Tower. What's the point of me following the rules? The silver-robed man said. In other words, only the Tianfeng dynasty can attack others. If others attack you, you don't have to follow the rules because you're afraid of being destroyed. The polar moon will appear on Wu Lingfei's body. If she didn't deal with this saint, Tianji Tower's attack would be blocked. Therefore, even if her cultivation was inferior to the other party, Wu Lingfei still had to fight. Baidu search love, go, Xiao, Shua, www.ipicstorytelling.com. I don't want to fight. You're the ones who are forcing me. The silver-robed man waved his arm and a large sword appeared in his hand. Xuanhuan, do you think I don't exist? If you want to fight, I'll fight with you. A figure appeared in front of Wu Lingfei and then slowly solidified. It was a woman in a blue robe and a golden mask. Wuji Saint. It's not me who wants to fight, it's Tianji Tower who wants to destroy the Tianfeng dynasty. The silver-robed Xuanhuan bowed and said, his attitude obviously much more respectful. Destroy your Tianfeng dynasty? When the Tianfeng dynasty bullied Tianji Tower and went to Taiwa domain to fight, you died. Or are you pretending not to know? The blue-robed everlasting saint said coldly. Xuanhuan really doesn't know. Xuanhuan bowed. Don't play dumb with me. I own a tea house in Taiching City, and there's nothing in the world that I don't know. It's not that I didn't know about your attack on the Night Moon dynasty, but I felt that there was no point in asking about it after the fact, so I didn't ask about it. Since you're not going to abide by the Holy Accord, there's no point in keeping it. The blue-robed everlasting saint waved his arm and a piece of golden paper with a radius of about 3 meters rose into the air. Then it started to burn. Everlasting saint, how can you do this? Xuanhuan's expression turned ugly when he saw the burning golden paper. The golden paper burned, and the golden light flew into the sky and spread out in all directions. How is that possible? All of you are attacking one by one. Is this holy accord made for me? The blue-robed everlasting saint roared. It's the Tianfeng dynasty's fault this time. I'll go back and restrain them. Xuanhuan cupped his hands and said, 0/0/0/0/0 inch. If you didn't come out, I would have asked them to stop when it was about time, but now, it's too late. Lord K, as the Supreme Elder of Tianji Tower, I order all the people of Tianji Tower to continue to push forward 1,000,000 miles. Anyone who dares to stop us will be killed. The blue-robed everlasting saint raised his right hand, which was holding a token with the word, everlasting on it. Yes, Supreme Elder. Lin Yuandao and the others bowed and waved their hands to let the people on the ground continue to push forward. Tianji Tower's tokens were all made of metal, but the materials were different. There was also a Supreme Elder's token made of jade. The corner of Xuanhuan's eyes twitched, but he didn't say anything. If the Tianji Tower pushed forward another 1,000,000 miles, the territory of the Tianfeng dynasty would be reduced by more than half. However, if he resisted, the Tianfeng dynasty might be destroyed. Xuanhuan, let me give you a piece of advice. You can't bully the heavenly Tao. The consequences of attacking the Night Moon dynasty are very serious. You know too little. You don't know the real Moon Emperor and you don't have the qualifications to know. Get lost. The blue-robed everlasting saint waved his sleeve, and waves of ripples appeared in front of Xuanhuan out of thin air, directly sending him flying. Lin Yuandao greets Supreme Elder. Lin Yuandao cupped his hands to the blue-robed everlasting saint. Wu Lingfei and the others also bowed. It shouldn't be a problem. The Tianfeng dynasty won't dare to resist. Come to my tea house to talk. The blue-robed everlasting saint nodded to Lin Yuandao and the others. Then, the blue-robed everlasting saint led them to a small, inconspicuous tea house in the Taiching domain. You have a lot of questions, right? I'll just casually mention them to you. I used to be the head of the Tianji Tower. Do you know the name Xialanjun? The blue-robed everlasting saint said to them. Upon hearing this name, Lin Yuandao and the others rose to their feet and bowed again, because Xialanjun used to be the head of the Tianji Tower. The human race in the realm of unbounded desolation had changed because of Xialanjun. Then, Xialanjun told them some secrets that no one knew about, which were the secrets of the ancient Godhood war. Whenever the Nine Realms world reached its peak, there would be inexplicable wars. Some outsiders would appear and slaughter the saints of the Nine Realms world. Some even said that they came to rob the saints of the Nine Realms world of unbounded desolation. It was like livestock that would be harvested when the time came. In order to avoid unnecessary consumption, the saints of the Nine Realms world of unbounded desolation signed an agreement not to interfere in the wars between realms and those below the Saint Realm. This agreement was known as the Holy Accord. The Holy Accord was proposed by the Moon Emperor, and I initiated it. However, there are still people who don't abide by it. Since that's the case, it's better to suppress them with force and eliminate those who don't abide by it, lest a rat spoils the whole pot of soup, Xialanjun said. The Moon Emperor. Isn't the Moon Emperor Night Sky an invincible venerable? How could he be qualified to propose the Holy Accord? Lin Yuandao looked at Xialanjun in surprise. He couldn't understand what Xialanjun was saying. The Moon Emperor is an invincible venerable. That's just his soul doppelganger. His true body's cultivation base is unfathomable. Even I don't know how strong it is. Xialanjun sighed. The Moon Emperor's soul doppelganger had already awed an entire era. This was something that no one else could compare to. Then where are his true body and soul doppelganger now? Wu Lingfei asked. She was very concerned about this because it was related to Night Sorrow. The Moon Emperor entered the Saint Realm with the power of space. However, he felt that it wasn't enough. Since he could break the spatial barrier, he traveled to different realms to pursue a higher cultivation base, Xialanjun said. Entering the Saint Realm with the power of space isn't enough. What kind of cultivation base is he pursuing? Guoxiao asked in surprise. He mentioned that he wanted to become a Saint Realm with the power of time and space. That would be second only to the saints with the supreme element. That would be truly invincible. Xialanjun revealed the Moon Emperor Night Sky's ambition. The Night Moon dynasty has been suppressed to this extent. If the Moon Emperor returns, wouldn't it be a storm? Guoxiao asked. Chapter 616. Genius 1 second. Remember love, go, Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Are they still very strong? Lin Yuandao asked. Baidu search love, go, Xiao, say, www.achux.com. They are very strong, but they don't have a saint, especially Yi Linghuan, who is known as the Invincible King. He has been a half-step saint for a long time, but he was seriously injured by Xianhuan's sneak attack. His origin was damaged and he has not recovered. The Sea of Night Moon is a place where space rules are very strong. It is only a matter of time before he becomes a saint, Xialanjun said. Xuanhuan is a saint and can control the power of rules. Didn't he chase into the Sea of Night Moon? If he did, wouldn't the Night Moon dynasty be destroyed? Wu Lingfei said. He wants to chase but he doesn't dare. The Sea of Night Moon is full of space turbulence. The people of the Night Moon dynasty who have the protection of space energy have the advantage. If several emperors of the Night Moon dynasty join forces and use their unique talent, the space crack, then Xuanhuan will die. Do you think he dares to chase? Xialanjun said the reason why the Night Moon dynasty was not destroyed even if there were saints. Baidu search love, go, Xiao, say, www.achux.com. Read novels for free for a long time. So that's how it is. I'm worried about that kid, Lin Yuandao said with a sigh of relief after knowing that the Night Moon dynasty was not destroyed. Which kid? Xialanjun looked at Lin Yuandao with some confusion. Grand Elder, I want to appoint a young master. He is a direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty. Baidu, Xiao, say, Wuka Lin Yuandao said. The greatest significance of the Empyrean Terminus Tower's existence is to give cultivators some opportunities and balance out the relationships between some forces. Those in power must have a sense of justice and the overall situation. Does Tower Lord think that person can do it? Xialanjun asked Lin Yuandao. Grand Elder, here is all the information about Night Sorrow from when he had no cultivation to when he was able to kill a venerable. There is also some analysis of his personality and temperament. Lin Yuandao took out a handbook and handed it to Xialanjun. Lin Yuandao had recorded all the details of Night Sorrow's growth in detail. Xialanjun read page by page. She even read some pages twice. Half an hour later she put down the book. Xialanjun looked at Lin Yuandao, Wu Lingfei, Guoxiao, and Letrin Xuan and said, "According to the records here, his temperament is perfect, his combat strength is outstanding, and he can see the big picture. He is simply a perfect person. I'm not praising him, but he is a perfect seedling. He provided us with the origin stones to enter the Saint Realm and Half-Saint Realm. He didn't ask for anything in return. He didn't take advantage of Tianji Tower," Guoxiao said. "He had a very good impression of Night Sorrow. Vice Palace Master Wu, you should be the calmest among you. You can even say that your state of mind is the best. What do you think?" Xialanjun looked at Wu Lingfei and asked, "When it comes to Yishan, I have the least right to speak. When I was injured in the Realm War, it was because of him that I was able to recover. He was also the one who brought me Source Stones and Life Saint Crystals to help me enter the Saint Realm. He calls me aunt, so I treat him like family," said Wu Lingfei. "Ah, so you all have unanimously agreed. Then there's no problem. After listening to what you said, my evaluation just now was still 1 point off. That guy still has great luck. Otherwise, the Spacetime Pagoda wouldn't have recognized him as its master. The matter of the Spacetime Pagoda still needs to be resolved," Xialanjun said. "What? Is there still trouble with the Spacetime Pagoda?" Wu Lingfei asked. "Yes, Saint Silver Dusk from the Qingtian domain doesn't intend to let it go. She just doesn't dare to go to the Eastern Profound Domain," Xialanjun said. "Spirit treasures of heaven and earth belong to the virtuous. What else does she plan to do? She already went too far when she interfered in the Realm War. Who is afraid of her?" Wu Lingfei became angry when she heard that the saint from the Qingtian domain didn't intend to let it go. "In the past, I didn't know that the Spacetime Pagoda was in the hands of Tianji Tower, so I ignored her. Now that I know, of course I have to deal with it. Since the Covenant of the Saints has been burned, let's fight whoever wants to." Xialanjun also erupted with fighting spirit. "Thank you, Grand Elder." Lin Yuandao bowed to Xialanjun. "All of you are not bad, especially Vice Palace Master Wu. As long as you improve your cultivation, you will be an expert among the saints. That xuanhuan is nothing compared to you. Foundation. Although many people value it, how many people can really endure it and advance with advanced attributes?" Xialanjun looked at Wu Lingfei and nodded approvingly. She knew that Wu Lingfei had defeated Jiyu Haitian. Yishang and Yunhuang's days were very pleasant. Every day they would drink tea together, drink wine together, and then cultivate. Gu Jun went out to gather information every day. Now he wasn't the only one gathering information. He had already mobilized the people in Wuyo City to gather information elsewhere. Night Sorrow and Yunhuang were very excited when they found out that the Tianji Tower had declared war on the Tianfeng dynasty and defeated it. They immediately pulled Gu Jun to celebrate. The appearance of a saint has caused the world to be in chaos. However, it has also restrained the others. They won't dare to act recklessly. This is a good thing. Gu Jun said. "Let's work harder. Once we reach the Venerable Realm, we will go and kill. We will kill wherever you tell us to. Every time we attack, we will change our location. Let's see what they can do to us." Yunhuang was very excited. "However, it hasn't been long since I reached the Void Inquiry stage. I still need to stabilize my cultivation base," Night Sorrow said after sensing his cultivation base. "Don't worry. Even if you aren't a Venerable Realm expert, isn't killing Venerable Realm experts like playing a game?" Yunhuang admired Night Sorrow very much. "Young Lord, no one in the Night Moon knows about your identity now. They only know that a direct descendant of the Night Moon's royal family has appeared. They are all furious and have formed guards in every city. As long as it's not a Venerable Realm expert, they won't be able to occupy our cities. Looking at the current situation, the people of the other dynasties won't dare to act recklessly. Our Night Moon can recover for a while," Gu Jun said. "I hope that my appearance won't cause everyone to suffer a blow." Night Sorrow expressed the biggest concern in his heart. "It won't. Young Lord's appearance has given everyone a pillar of support and hope. Young Lord, please wait for me for a while." Gu Yun left as soon as she finished speaking. After that, she took out a stack of square yellow satin. "What's this?" Night Sorrow looked at Gu Yun and asked. It was because Gu Yun was very serious. She was holding the satin with both hands. "The Night Moon Battle Flag. Young Lord, please take care of it." Gu Jun knelt down on one knee and raised the yellow satin above his head with both hands. Night Sorrow stood up and received the yellow satin with both hands. Then he shook his arm and unfolded the battle flag. It was a battle flag embroidered with a blue night sky with stars in the night sky and a bright moon hanging in the sky. Later, the two of us will hang the battle flag in the sky of the night moon. As long as the venerable realm experts don't come, the two of us have nothing to be afraid of. No matter how many small fries come, we will kill them all. Xuanhuan said. However, I will have to drag you into the water and fight together with me. Night Sorrow looked at Xuanhuan and said apologetically. Chapter 617. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan arrived at Night Moon Sky in the evening. Night Sorrow hung the battle flag on the top of the damaged Night Moon Palace. That's right. I don't think those dogs will come easily. After all, it's a chaotic situation now. The war at Tianji Tower has made them feel insecure, Xuanhuan said. Night Sorrow nodded. He took out a jar of wine and threw it to Xuanhuan. The two of them poured half a jar in front of the monument and started drinking. Just as the two of them were drinking, 2 old men appeared at Night Moon Sky with a group of guards. Xuanhuan greets young master. The old man bowed to Night Sorrow. The people behind him even knelt on one knee. Senior, you're exaggerating. I'm from Night Moon Sky, but I'm not your young master. Night Sorrow reached out and helped the old man called Xuanhuan up. You must be a direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty to be able to use space rend. You must be the young master of the Night Moon dynasty. Also, Gu Jun has met me, so we know about young master, Xuanhuan said. I'm sure I'm from Night Moon Sky, but don't say anything else because it might not be accurate. You can just call me Night Sorrow, Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuan and the others. However, Xuanhuan and the others still insisted. Then Xuanhuan told Night Sorrow that he had already formed a group of guards with the people of Night Moon Sky. As long as there were no venerables, Night Moon City would be safe. Let's leave it at Night Moon Sky for now. Let the other areas be built. I think even if they do something, they will target me and the direct descendants of Night Moon Sky. They won't target ordinary people. The king's order from the Yun dynasty and the war at Tianji Tower will affect them greatly, Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan nodded, then turned around and gave the order to arrange this matter. Following that, Xuanhuan and Qingfeng introduced the current situation of Night Moon City to Night Sorrow. Most of the people from the Night Moon dynasty who entered the Night Moon Sea were high-level cultivators and direct descendants of the royal family. Other than those who left, there were many other branches in the various cities of the Night Moon dynasty. However, because the main force was not present, continuing to fight would be a meaningless sacrifice. Therefore, the high-level cultivators who could easily attract the attention of the other party had already gone into hiding, leaving behind only the citizens below the 5th step. As for the subsidiary cities, some chose to leave and live in the mountains while some chose to come to Night Moon City. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs.com, that is to say there are still many cultivators in Night Moon City? Xuanhuan asked. Yes, they used to live the lives of ordinary people. However, after young master appeared, everyone organized themselves. Other than the fact that there are no venerables in Night Moon City, everything else is on the right track, Xuanhuan said. Then let's continue like this. If there is a battle, they will come for me. They won't do anything to Night Moon City. Night Sorrow nodded, secretly praising the strength of the Night Moon dynasty. This was because the guards led by Xuanhuan and Qingfeng were all late-stage 5th-step cultivators. This strength had far surpassed the Medicine Valley when there were no venerables. Yes, young master, just be careful. Xuanhuan bowed to Night Sorrow. After that, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan left Night Moon City and rushed towards Wuyo City. Ninth uncle, he doesn't seem to care whether he is the young master or not. However, since he can use the space crack, he must be the young master, Qingfeng said as he looked in the direction Night Sorrow left. He is from Wuyo City, which means that he is the only grandson of the Invincible Prince. He is the direct descendant of the Invincible Prince. If nothing happens to the Night Moon dynasty, he is the most likely successor to the throne, Xuanhuan said. This news must be kept a secret. If it is leaked, the other dynasties will definitely do anything to deal with young master. We can't let anything happen to young master, Xuanhuan said as he looked in the direction Night Sorrow left. The Invincible Prince Ling Huan is the flag of our Night Moon. Prince Wuyo has a high cultivation base and is loved by everyone. I believe that young master Night Sorrow will also be the pride of our Night Moon, Qingfeng said. Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan stayed in Wuyo City and cultivated peacefully. Now Wuyo City had changed. Its popularity had increased and it was no longer in a dilapidated state. In addition, the guards had also appeared and the city was peaceful. The news of young master's appearance is a great encouragement to the people of Night Moon. I believe that it won't be long before those reclusive Night Moon venerables return. Gu Jun brought a pot of tea to Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan. This is what our Night Moon family owes everyone, Night Sorrow said. Young master, please don't say that. The Night Moon Empire was created by the Night Clan. Under the Night Clan, everyone is living a good life. Everyone is grateful and has no complaints, Gu Jun said. After Gu Jun left, Night Sorrow thought for a moment and had a plan. Brother, I'm going to fight. You can either wait for me here or wait for me in the Taiching region, Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuan after thinking for a while. You fight and I'll just watch? Isn't that a joke? Xuanhuan stared at Night Sorrow. Xuanhuan, we are brothers. Then I won't hide it from you. As long as I don't meet anyone that's too ruthless, I have ways to protect myself. After saying that, Night Sorrow disappeared in a flash and entered the space-time pagoda. The space-time pagoda's body turned into the size of a finger and floated in the air. Then it streaked across space and disappeared. Then Night Sorrow appeared in front of Xuanhuan again. Holy sh*t, what's going on? Today I'm going to be shameless. I need to learn from you, Xuanhuan said as he grabbed Night Sorrow's sleeve. I won't hide it from you. This isn't a cultivation technique, it's a magical treasure. You should have heard of the Qingtian region's Xiantian Pagoda, which is the space-time pagoda. It's in my hands. If I encounter a powerful enemy, I can hide in it and then escape, Night Sorrow said. Isn't that easy? Let's go fight together. When the time comes, both of us can go in and we'll be done. Xuanhuang's face was filled with excitement. Then let's give it a try. Don't resist. I'll wrap you with my soul force and see if it works. Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuang. He then communicated with Shao Kong. After communicating with Shao Kong, Night Sorrow released his soul power and enveloped Xuanhuang before entering the space-time pagoda. This is the interior of the Xiantian pagoda. As long as I can come in with you, I'll be safe. Let's go. You choose the location and we'll start killing. Xuanhuang said as he waved his arms excitedly. Since you're willing to fight with me, I, Night Sorrow, have nothing else to say. As long as I'm alive, I won't let you get hurt, Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuang. Then Night Sorrow and Xuanhuang exited the space-time pagoda. Chapter 618. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Alright, let's say goodbye to Uncle Gu and leave. The earlier we take action, the safer Night Moon City will be. Night Sorrow nodded. But we still have to investigate properly before taking action. Since they are shameless enough to use a venerable to kill us, we have nothing else to say. Let's be more despicable and kill them while ensuring our own safety. Xuanhuang expressed his thoughts. At night, Gu Yun returned. Night Sorrow told her about his and Xuanhuang's plan. No way. It's too dangerous. You are the direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty and everyone's hope. You can't take such a risk. Gu Jun didn't care about seniority and immediately objected. New idiot is the fastest. I am the descendant of the Night Moon dynasty. I have to take responsibility. Although it's a little risky, it's worth it to exchange for the safety of millions of Night Moon citizens. Night Sorrow shook his head. Young master, you can't do that. Gu Jun's face was filled with worry. It's settled then. I will be careful. Taking revenge for Night Moon is my mission. I won't let myself fall before completing my mission. Xuanhuang, let's go. Night Sorrow shouted to Xuanhuang. Gu Yun helplessly watched Night Sorrow and Xuanhuang leave. Riding on their mounts, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuang each held a jar of wine and drank as they traveled. This time, the two didn't head towards Dragon Tail City. Instead, they chose Thousand Creek City, the closest city to Wind City in the Night Moon region. The two of them planned to kill from Thousand Creek City. Oh right, that Chin Something's venerable ring is still with me. Come over quickly and let's split the loot. Xuanhuang waved at Night Sorrow. This was Xuanhuang. He knew that Night Sorrow wouldn't accept it even if he gave it to Night Sorrow. Hence, he directly called for Night Sorrow to split the loot. Coming. Hearing Xuanhuang's words, Night Sorrow didn't argue. With a flash, he landed on the back of the silver-winged eagle controlled by the ghost wolf. With a thought, Xuanhuang opened Xuanhuan's storage ring. Xuanhuan was a venerable one, so his foundation was relatively solid. What shocked Night Sorrow was that this guy had a space crystal. Although it was not big, it could still split into two. Take this. We'll split it into 5 high-grade crystals, 150 per person, Xuanhuang said as he tossed the space crystal to Night Sorrow. That won't do. This spatial spirit stone is more valuable than anything else, Night Sorrow said. The Yun dynasty has set up all the teleportation formations that should be set up, but what about you? If you want to rebuild the Night Moon Empire, don't you need to build a teleportation array? If you need it, then don't talk nonsense with me. Xuanhuan was killed by you. Why should I be so thick-skinned as to share the loot with you? Because we're brothers, you know. Xuanhuan waved his arm and put away half of the spirit stones. That's true. We're all brothers. Why would I be so courteous with you? That would be treating you as an outsider. Night Sorrow smiled at Xuanhuan. He knew that Xuanhuan treated him as a brother. If he continued to be pretentious, then it would be meaningless. Xuanhuan laughed heartily. He liked the feeling of having brothers. His cousins in the Yun dynasty all had a sense of self-interest, but he didn't like it. That was why he had been wandering alone all these years. I'm not worried about Night Sorrow. What I'm worried about is jianghu. He has the power of time. He's too hard to deal with, said Xuanhuan. Night Sorrow looked at Xuanhuan and asked, will you be able to protect yourself against him after you enter the Exalt realm? Defeating him is impossible. However, in a short battle you should be able to protect yourself. After all, I cultivate the lightning attribute. Moreover, it is an attribute that is infinitely close to the pinnacle of Black Fury lightning. You have a chance of defeating him. So, the crux of the problem lies with you. Xuanhuan said to Yishan. Let's go, Xuanhuan said to Yishan. I'll be fine. As long as I become a venerable one, I won't be suppressed by him anymore, Night Sorrow said confidently. That's good. This is the first time I've been bullied in so many years. You've got to help me get back at them, Xuanhuan said. Night Sorrow smiled at Xuanhuan. I have some good wine that I want to try. Do you want to try it? Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and take it out. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, Xuanhuan's eyes lit up. Yishang took out a jar of Sundragon wine, then took out a wine bowl and poured a bowl for each of them. Xuanhuan took the wine bowl and drank half of it. *CK. What wine is this? I can't take it anymore. I need to meditate and cultivate. After drinking half a bowl of wine, Xuanhuan's face was red. He couldn't bear to part with the remaining half of the wine. He took out a pill bottle and poured the wine into it without looking at what kind of pill it was. Then he closed his eyes and meditated. Night Sorrow held the wine bowl and looked at the meditating Xuanhuan. Then he looked at the silver-winged eagle. Ghost Wolf, I'm Xuanhuan's brother. Just keep flying forward. Night Sorrow returned to Qianyu's back and looked at the wine bowl in his hand. Night Sorrow drank it in one gulp. After drinking it, Night Sorrow understood why Xuanhuan's face changed and why he needed to meditate and cultivate. The Sun Dragon wine contained blood and yang qi that was too strong. Night Sorrow also sat down and started to cultivate. It took Yishang 4 hours to refine a bowl of wine. He could feel that the cultivation of the myriad Tao treasured tome had increased. There was also an evil feeling in his heart. Yishang knew what was going on. It was the excessive yang qi. In the evening, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan woke up from their meditation. What wine is this? It's killing me. I need to find a city quickly. I can't take it anymore. I need to find a girl. Xuanhuan tidied up a part of his robe. Night Sorrow looked at Xuanhuan and laughed. How do you feel? Great. I just can't take it. When you need it, drink a little. The effect is definitely strong. Xuanhuan gave Night Sorrow a thumbs up. Can I give you some more? Night Sorrow looked at Xuanhuan and asked. Not for now. When I need it, I'll ask you for more. What is this wine made from? Xuanhuan asked, puzzled. It's made from the dragon root of a pinnacle honorable 5-clawed pterosaur and some precious herbs. Night Sorrow said. The dragon root of a pinnacle honorable 5-clawed pterosaur? You're ruthless. In the 9 regions and 18 states, there's no one else like you. Xuanhuan took a deep breath and said. I'm cultivating my body. That's why I need these things. Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuan. Alright. Give me a jar of the other wine. Xuanhuan said. Let's set up camp later. We'll make some barbecue before drinking. Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuan. Then Qianyu caught a wild deer. Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan set up camp. Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan were both solo trainees. They were very good at cooking barbecue. Then the two of them cut the deer meat to go with the wine. We're still 3 days away from Thousand Creek City. When the time comes, you'll be in charge of fending off the experts. I'll take care of the underlings and light the fire. Xuanhuan said after taking a sip of wine. Chapter 619. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I'll provide you with interesting novels to read. I'm not stupid. Can't I wear a veil or something? Xuanhuan said to Night Sorrow. Love go little say W, Chu, yeah that's for the best. Night Sorrow nodded. This mask is quite unique, but I can't bring trouble to Tianji Tower. Xuanhuan flipped his palm and tossed a mask back and forth. Yishang stretched out his hand and caught the mask that Xuanhuan had thrown into the air. After taking a serious look at it, Yishang smiled. We can really play together in the future. Xuanhuan took the mask from Night Sorrow and looked at Night Sorrow. What's wrong? You are a celestial emissary of Tianji Tower. Coincidentally, I also have a mask like this. Night Sorrow also took out his celestial mask. That D*MN supervisor told me that there are only 3 celestial emissaries in Tianji Tower, including me. Why are there so many celestial emissaries now? Xuanhuan said with some dissatisfaction. What do you mean by so many? Including you, there are only 3 celestial emissaries. It's really fate that we can meet in advance. Night Sorrow was speechless. So many celestial emissaries? There were only 3 celestial emissaries in the 9 regions and 18 prefectures. Ah. My mouth really doesn't know how to speak. Xuanhuan also realized that his words were wrong. That's just you. I don't mind. However, if that person hears this, she will definitely not be happy, Night Sorrow said with a smile. I'm really happy. I've always been worried that after joining Tianji Tower, I would be restricted and have no like-minded companions. Now I'm relieved. By the way, what's the situation with that person? Xuanhuan asked. Night Sorrow briefly explained Ling Long's situation and the God-slaying squad situation. The situation is good. I'll go with you to see the God-slaying squad when the time comes. I acknowledge you as a brother, but I want to see the others. Not everyone can be my brother, Xuanhuan said as he drank. Ah, they're all good men. Not everyone can be my brother, Night Sorrow said. After eating, the 2 of them began to meditate and cultivate. Tianji Tower directly pushed forward 1,000,000 miles and announced to the outside world that this area was the territory of Tianji Tower's first base. Whoever wanted it could come and try. Tianji Tower was not willing to fight, but whoever wanted to fight they would definitely accompany them to the end. Even the self-proclaimed #1 force in the Taiqing region, the Tianfeng dynasty, was no match for Tianji Tower, so the other dynasties didn't dare to act recklessly. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www. The main reason was that the strength displayed by Tianji Tower this time was too strong. It swept through the Tianfeng dynasty like it was a game. Such a battle situation shocked the 9 regions. At that time, many people in Spreading Wings City knew that Saint Xuanhuan of the Tianfeng dynasty didn't dare to take action. This invisible deterrent force made all the forces not dare to act recklessly. If Tianji Tower claimed to be the #2 force in the 9 regions, no force would dare to claim to be the #1. In the later part of the battle, the members of the Tianfeng dynasty retreated voluntarily. However, they were forced to retreat in the early part of the battle. They lost a lot of people and could be said to have suffered a serious blow. Their reputation was damaged and their strength plummeted. AI Go Xiao say W. Chu after expanding their territory by 1,000,000 miles, Tianji Tower didn't directly rule. They still handed over these occupied areas to some subsidiary forces to manage. However, everyone knew who the territory belonged to. Such a situation made all the forces in the Taiqing region not dare to act recklessly. They knew that the Night Moon dynasty had begun to recover, but they didn't do anything. Everyone was worried that if they jumped out at this time, they would be attacked by Tianji Tower. After all, the Night Moon dynasty was such a large area. Who knew if Tianji Tower would care about it? The Golden Dragon King dynasty and the Qingming dynasty even withdrew from the territory of the Night Moon dynasty that they had previously occupied. The Yun dynasty also made a move. They directly set up a blockade around the Night Moon dynasty and announced that anyone who dared to touch the ordinary people in the Taiqing region would be declaring war on the Yun dynasty. The other 5 dynasties didn't react to the Yun dynasty's actions, which was equivalent to tacit agreement. At this time, no one wanted to become enemies with the Yun dynasty. It should be known that Yun Qianlong's strength was outstanding, and his identity as the deputy city lord could also summon a large number of cultivators. When the 5 dynasties attacked the Night Moon dynasty back then, Yun Qianlong wasn't there. Otherwise, the 5 dynasties wouldn't have been so unscrupulous. Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan continued to sneak toward Thousand Creek City. Thousand Creek City was a relatively remote city in the Sky King dynasty. There weren't many soldiers guarding it. This was also the reason why Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan chose to go there first. The 2 sneaked into Thousand Creek City in the middle of the night. Under the cover of the night, the 2 of them directly went to the city lord's mansion and began to assassinate. xianxia plus free reading, novels. Night Sorrow's soul force was strong, and his detection ability was strong. Unknowingly, most of the City Lord's mansion's guards were killed by Night Sorrow. However, Night Sorrow's actions were still discovered by a peak rank 5 guard commander. Although this guard commander was only able to block a few moves before being killed by Yi Shang, it was enough to stop Yi Shang's assassination. Since they couldn't assassinate, they had to fight openly. Night Sorrow also understood the situation here. There was only one City Lord who was a beginner supremacy. A beginner supremacy was nothing in Night Sorrow's eyes. Night Sorrow continued to kill people. Xuanhuan blocked the City Lord's mansion's door and continued to kill people. His pair of scimitars slashed the guards until they cried out. He even took the prepared fire torches and threw them around the City Lord's mansion. Night Sorrow and the City Lord, who was a rank 2 supremacy, attacked each other. The City Lord's mansion's guards also surrounded Night Sorrow. However, the sword chi and scimitar couldn't even break through Night Sorrow's protective barrier. "Brother, you hold on. I'll go loot the storeroom," Xuanhuan shouted as he rushed into the City Lord's mansion. As he rushed, he killed and set fire to the City Lord's mansion. "Don't worry, I'll hold them off," Night Sorrow shouted. Right now he didn't feel any pressure at all. "Who exactly are you people? Do you think our Xuanhuan dynasty is easy to mess with?" The City Lord shouted as he fought. Right now he was completely suppressed by Night Sorrow. Therefore he hoped to use the name of the Xuanhuan dynasty to scare off the two robbers, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan. In his eyes, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan were two daring robbers who didn't care about their lives. "Trying to scare me with the name of the Xuanhuan dynasty? You're thinking too much." Hearing the City Lord shout, Xuanhuan shouted back. "There's no harm in telling you. I'm Night Moon Night Sorrow. As long as I'm alive, your Xuanhuan dynasty will never have a day of peace. If I have the time, I'll come and kill everyone from your Xuanhuan dynasty." Night Sorrow didn't plan to hide his identity. Not intending to continue fighting, Night Sorrow used his innate skill, Spatial Rend. Then he rushed forward and used his reincarnation spear to attack the City Lord. When the City Lord of Thousand Creeks City saw Night Sorrow's Spatial Rend, his expression changed drastically. He waved his sword to block it. Because the two of them were too close, there was no way for him to dodge. Gotcha. The City Lord of Thousand Creek City's weapon shattered and his right arm was cut off by the Spatial Rend. At this moment, Night Sorrow's right arm shook violently and the reincarnation spear pierced through the City Lord's chest. Then Night Sorrow pushed the City Lord forward until they reached the white wall of the City Lord's mansion. Chapter 620. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go Divided by Xiao? Talk Web, providing you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow left 7 words. "Night Moon Night Sorrow, I'm coming." On the white wall, the 7 words in bright red were very eye-catching. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.ichuxs. Night Sorrow then took the unlucky City Lord's storage ring and left Thousand Creek City on a flying beast with Xuanhuan, who had set the place on fire and robbed the warehouse. 2,000 miles away from Thousand Creek City, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan set up camp. No one can become rich without a windfall. I found 2 chests of spirit stones and a pile of materials in the storehouse of the city magistrate's mansion. With that, Xuanhuan waved his hand and 2 chests appeared, along with a pile of materials. "Not bad, the harvest is quite big," Night Sorrow said. "Let's see what's inside first." Xuanhuan opened the boxes. There were 2 boxes of spirit stones inside, but they were all middle-grade spirit stones. There were less than 100 high-grade spirit stones. "I don't want the spirit stones. I'm an alchemist. Just give me the materials," Night Sorrow said. "No, the materials are trash to me. They don't count. We'll split the spirit stones." Xuanhuan didn't wait for Night Sorrow to speak and took half of the spirit stones. "All right. You're generous." Night Sorrow smiled and kept the materials. "Actually, it's not that I'm generous, it's you. Because you don't need the materials for a rank 4 pill. After you refine it into a pill, you'll give it to others. You're willing to give up half of your benefits for others. That's why you're more generous than me," Xuanhuan said. Night Sorrow shook his head. "It's good as long as I have enough resources. If I can help those around me, I'll help them." /update with new, fastest % ion plus. That's why the materials are yours. Night Moon also needs the support of pills, Xuanhuan said. "There are still resources here that we haven't divided." Night Sorrow took out the storage ring of the Venerable City Lord and took out the resources inside. A venerable level cultivator was rich. The resources in this storage ring were even more abundant than the City Lord's mansion storage that Xuanhuan had robbed. The two of them laughed and divided the loot. After resting for a night, the two of them continued on their journey. Xuanhuan and Night Sorrow held the map and chose the cities they wanted to attack on the Windy Dynasty's map. In over 20 days, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan had massacred 6 cities. They had killed 4 venerable level city lords and plundered a lot of resources. While they were rushing to set up camp, Night Sorrow was refining pills. Whether it was tier 3 or tier 4 pills, he was even refining tier 2 pills. He wanted to prepare a batch of resources for Night Moon City. The two of them attacked the cities of the Tianfeng dynasty without any scruples, causing the Tianfeng dynasty to be alarmed at the slightest sound and increase the number of people sent to every city. Ignoring Night Sorrow, Xuanhuan and Xuanhuan changed their target and began to slaughter the Qingming dynasty. The two of them didn't have a fixed target. In any case, in the Taiqing domain, other than the Yun dynasty, all the other forces had participated in the attack on the Night Moon dynasty. No matter who they attacked, no one would be wronged. Following Night Sorrow and Xuanhuang's crazy actions, the two of them became famous. The entire Taiqing domain knew that there were 2 madmen who went against the Tianfeng dynasty and the Qingming dynasty before they reached the Venerable Realm. Night Sorrow's name completely resounded, and the Demon Hunter also became famous. This was because before every battle, Xuanhuan would shout, "The Demon Hunter is here, prepare to die." In the underground palace of the Taiqing domain's first base, the higher-ups of the Tianji Tower were having a meeting. "Isn't Night Sorrow messing around? This is a dangerous place," Guoxiao said with some annoyance. According to the description, the kid with him is our Tianji Tower's 3rd celestial terminus envoy Xuanhuan. If it didn't involve Xuanhuan, the Yun dynasty wouldn't have reacted like this, Latrin Swan said. "It's very dangerous. The other party can't find them and we can't find them either. We can't help them even if we want to," Lin Yuandao said. Night Sorrow isn't a brainless person, and the kid from the Yun dynasty isn't a fool either. The two of them must have a plan and a purpose. Night Sorrow did this to attract the attention of the other dynasties and make the Night Moon City more peaceful, Wu Lingfei said. If asked who among the people in the hall knew Night Sorrow the best, it was of course her. He flattened 8 or 9 city lord mansions of the Tianfeng dynasty and Qingming dynasty and killed many venerables. This courage is worthy of praise. Very good. Xialanjun, who had been silent all this time, said. "We still have to find a way to catch these 2 bastards," Guoxiao said. "If it's easy to find them, the Tianfeng dynasty wouldn't have been wiped out and several city lord mansions couldn't do anything. This is a skill. Moreover, even if the Tianfeng dynasty and the Qingming dynasty captured them, they would kill them to establish their prestige. If they wanted to kill them, they would have to announce it to the world. We would still have a chance to rescue them," Xialanjun said. Lin Yuandao and the others nodded. They had no other choice now. Night Sorrow wanted to avenge the Night Moon dynasty, and they couldn't openly support him. "Are you still worried? Why don't you think more about what kind of person Yin Tianlong is? How can he not leave a backup plan for his descendants?" "I don't believe that he didn't leave a backup plan. Whoever believes that is a fool," Xialanjun muttered and left the underground hall. "Yes, we are too nervous. It should be fine. Let them do what they want," Lin Yuandao said with a smile. Wu Lingfei and the others came to a courtyard. "City Lord, what's the situation with our captain?" Ho Jian asked. "I don't know, but they are safe. No one knows where they are." Wu Lingfei looked at Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu and said, "Can we go out and fight?" Yang Lei asked. "No. Night Sorrow and the others can kill venerables. Even if they can't kill them, they can guarantee that they can escape unscathed. Can you?" Wu Lingfei said with a frown. Hearing Wu Lingfei's words, no one said anything. No one could guarantee that they could escape unscathed like Night Sorrow. "If you are willing, then go to Night Moon City and take a look. If anyone dares to cause trouble in Night Moon City, you can help Night Sorrow as much as you can." After thinking for a while, Wu Lingfei gave the God-slaying squad a suggestion. The members of the God-slaying squad bowed to Wu Lingfei and then prepared to set off. The dynasties of the Grand Pure Domain were in chaos because of Night Sorrow and Xuanhuang's robbery. However, Night Moon City was in an uproar. Once news of Night Sorrow attacking a city spread, Night Moon City would be in an uproar for a while. The main reason was that the people of Night Moon City had been suppressed for too long. The Night Clan was their pride, and now Night Sorrow was regaining that pride. On an island in the sea, the purple-robed man trembled as he listened to the report from the scout in front of him. "Spatial Rend. Night Moon Dynasty. Night Sorrow. Investigate with all your might. I want to know everything about him. Also, pay attention to the situation in Night Moon City." The purple-robed man issued a series of orders. Chapter 621. Genius 1 second remember love/go/little? We will provide you with interesting novels to read. After thinking for a while, the purple-robed man turned around, tore open space and disappeared again. The current situation in the Tai Ching domain was beyond his expectations. It should be beyond the expectations of the Night Moon clan. After eating and drinking in the camp once again, Xuanhuan said, "My cultivation has reached a bottleneck. It's just that my realm is a little lacking. How about you?" "I can't do it. I still need some time. However, I will be in seclusion tonight. If it goes well, we will continue the plan tomorrow. If there is not enough time, we will postpone the plan," Night Sorrow said. After this period of battle and hard work, Night Sorrow's vital energy cultivation and soul cultivation were increasing. The most obvious improvement was in the cultivation of the myriad Dao treasured tome. It had reached the bottleneck of the peak of the level 6 Dao querying realm. Night Sorrow planned to break through tonight and break through to the level 7 Dao querying realm. That way his actual combat strength would increase again. Every stage of a cultivator was divided into 3 stages. The first 3 stages were the initial stage, the middle 3 stages were the intermediate stage, and the last 3 stages were the advanced stage. The combat strength of the 3 stages was completely different. Under normal circumstances, without taking into account other factors, the combat strength of the intermediate stage and the advanced stage was quite different. Xuanhuan nodded. He knew that everyone's cultivation was different. When one needed to tidy up, going into seclusion might not necessarily mean advancing. "Love, Gong Little say Chu sitting in the tent," Night Sorrow communicated with Little Kong. After shutting off all the energy input, he took out the mystic turtle crystal and started cultivating. With the cultivation of the myriad Dao treasured tome, advancing to the Dao querying realm was easy. As long as one's cultivation was stable enough, they could advance naturally. After spending a night, Night Sorrow successfully advanced the myriad Dao treasured tome to the level 7 Dao querying realm. Night Sorrow sensed it and realized that the strength of his body had increased again. His strength had increased by quite a bit. In addition, he sensed that the essence chi beacon was now 4.5 feet high. Holding the reincarnation spear, Night Sorrow cultivated for a while. He felt pretty good. The advancement of the myriad Dao treasured tome had increased his combat strength by quite a bit. "Your cultivation base did not increase, but I can feel that your condition is different. Additionally, your essence energy smoke has increased," said Xuanhuan as he looked at Night Sorrow. "Yes, I'm still cultivating my body. Last night, I made some progress in my body cultivation," Night Sorrow said. "No wonder. After drinking the Sun Dragon wine, I couldn't take it anymore and wanted to go into the city to look for my little sister. But you were fine." Xuanhuan looked at Night Sorrow and said, "Ah, that's because your willpower isn't strong enough," Night Sorrow said with a smile. "Bullshit. Why don't you try having a pillar supporting the sky every day?" Xuanhuan looked at Night Sorrow with dissatisfaction. Ba is the only original version $J, and the other G are all square root pirated. Night Sorrow could only smile. He knew how powerful the Sun Dragon wine was. When he had just drunk it and had yet to refine it, he was also flustered. After that, the two of them continued their journey and continued to loot and kill in the Qing-Ming dynasty's territory. Now the two of them were even more cautious than before. They entered the city during the day to investigate. If they found that they could get through, they would kill at night. After massacring 3 more city lord mansions in the Qing-Ming dynasty, Yishang and Xuanhuan realized that things were not going well. They went into the city a few times and found supremacies with cultivation levels that Xuanhuan couldn't see through lurking in the city lord mansions. Xuanhuan couldn't see through their cultivation, which meant that they were at least level 4 sovereigns. The lowest was mid-level sovereigns, which wasn't something that the two of them could fight against. After a few more cities, the two of them felt helpless. After that, Night Sorrow decided to go back and attack the Tianfeng dynasty. Xuanhuan agreed with Night Sorrow's idea. After knowing that the two of them had entered the Qing-Ming dynasty's territory, the Tianfeng dynasty should let down their guard. Their plan went smoothly and they destroyed another 3 cities in the Tianfeng dynasty. After failing again, the two of them rushed towards the Night Moon city. At this time, Night Sorrow had accumulated a lot of resources. He didn't have many level 5 pills, but he had a lot of level 3 and level 4 pills. Night Sorrow planned to send them to the Night Moon dynasty. "Ah, this is great. I've never felt so good before." Xuanhuan sat on the back of the silver-winged eagle and counted his gains while drinking wine. At first, Xuanhuan wanted mid-grade spirit stones, but he didn't want them anymore. To him, mid-grade spirit stones were just like drinking tea or taking a teleportation circle. They had no other use. In the end he gave them all to Night Sorrow. Because the demand for resources in the Night Moon City was high, there were more low-level Night Moon people. Night Sorrow's storage rings were filled with mid-grade spirit stones and pills. Night Sorrow believed that they would be of great help to the people of the Night Moon. He also had a lot of level 5 pills, but he didn't have many void pills. He had enough clear void pills to last for a while. Let's go back. I'll walk around the Night Moon City and see if there are any beauties. I'll find one to be my wife. If she can give birth to a son with the bloodline of the Night Moon dynasty, that would be even better. Xuanhuan said. I hope you get what you want. When the time comes, I'll give you a big gift. Night Sorrow said. No need to give me a big gift. Just give me a small bottle of your Sun Dragon wine. Xuanhuan looked at Night Sorrow and said. You still dare to drink Sun Dragon wine? Don't you remember what happened last time? Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuan with a smile. If I get what I want, doesn't that mean I have a wife? I only need Sun Dragon wine if I have a wife. Xuanhuan looked at Night Sorrow as if he was looking at an idiot. That's true. I didn't think it through. Night Sorrow said as he rubbed his forehead. After a few days, Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan arrived at Wuxia City. In less than 2 months, Wuxia City had changed a lot. The city was no longer desolate. It was full of life. It even had the spirit of Wuxia. Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan walked around Wuxia City and came to the inn. Seeing that Night Sorrow and Xuanhuan had returned safely, Gu Yun was very happy. Night Sorrow took out 2 storage rings and said, There are spirit stones and elixirs in here. Uncle Gu, you can use them to improve the living conditions of the people in the city. Now that the few dynasties won't attack for no reason, we can do some construction here. How can we do that? How can we take young master's resources? Gu Jun shook his head. Uncle Gu, just take it. This time the 2 of us went out to rob. We're both very rich. Xuanhuan said with a smile. If I'm really Yun Xiaoxiao, it's only right that I do something for Wuxia City. Night Sorrow stuffed the 2 storage rings into Gu Jun. Young master, you're really Yi Xiaoxiao. I'm not talking about your name. I'm saying that you're definitely the young master of Wuxia City. Gu Jun said. Uncle Gu, just let me know if you need anything. I'm going to take a look at Night Moon City and pay my respects to the ancestors. Wuxia City needs to continue its recovery. It's best if it's the real Wuxia City. Night Sorrow said to Gu Jun. Then he rushed towards Night Moon City with Xuanhuan. At this moment, at the city gate of Night Moon City, Yang Lei, Xikong and the god-slaying team were stopped. They were not allowed to enter the city. Can you call someone who can make the decision here? We don't have any ill intentions. Yang Lei said. We didn't say that you have ill intentions. We don't have ill intentions either. It's just that the situation in Night Moon City isn't suitable for strangers. The guard of Night Moon City said. Chapter 622. A genius remembers love in a second? Speaking of the net, I will provide you with wonderful novels to read. Young madam? This subordinate, the captain of the 3rd squad, Night Peace, greets the 2 young ladies, but the captain of the guards bowed in greeting, but he was conflicted about whether to let them go or not, because he could not confirm the identities of Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu. Sigh. We won't make things difficult for you. We will camp outside the city. If you need to fight, come and inform us. Seeing the captain of the Night Moon City guards at a loss, Yang Lei laughed, because she felt that the people of Night Moon were very polite, and even had this perseverance in their politeness. GDQ hair, young madam, it's my fault that I can't let you enter the city. Now, I will arrange for you to camp, and once I confirm the identities of the 2 young madams, I will be willing to apologize. Men, go and inform the 9th elder. Night Peace brought Yang Lei and the others to camp while arranging for people to inform the city. You're right to do so. Xikong Chuyu nodded towards Night Peace. Xikong Chuyu felt that as a person one had to have perseverance. Night Sorrow had perseverance and so did Night Peace. The god-slaying squad camped outside the city on Night Moon, but no one complained, because Night Peace had even sent people to get food and drink. After receiving the notice, Yi Xiaoyuan immediately came to the god-slaying squad's camp. Just as Yi Xiaoyuan exchanged a few words with Yang Lei and Xikong Chuyu, 2 flying demonic beasts appeared in the air. It's the captain. Captain, I'm Lei Bao, we're here. Seeing Qianyu appear, Lei Bao shouted at the top of his lungs. Night Sorrow, who was drinking with Xuanhuan, who was riding the silver-winged eagle on Qianyu's back, heard the shout and immediately called out to Xuanhuan. The 2 of them controlled the flying demonic beasts to land. Yi Xiaoyuan greets young lord and young master Yun. Yi Xiaoyuan and the few elders all bowed to Night Sorrow. You're too courteous. Why are you here? Seeing Yang Lei, Xikong Chuyu, and the members of the god-slaying team, Night Sorrow was very surprised. Auntie Faye was worried that someone would come to Yue City to cause trouble, so she arranged for us to come here. The main reason was that we couldn't find you, so we could only wait here, Yang Lei said. Elder. Among these people, 2 are my fiancé. Yi Xiaoyuan, night peace, night sorrow. Your subordinate, Yi Anning, didn't know young madam's identity and blocked young madam's group outside the city. This is your subordinate's dereliction of duty. Please punish me, young master. After hearing the conversation between Yi Shang and Yi Xiaoyuan, Yi Anning knelt on one knee and accepted his punishment. Night peace, night peace. It's good that young lord doesn't mind. Then let's enter the city. Young lord going to the Tianfeng dynasty and the Qingming dynasty to wash the city lord's mansion in blood is really satisfying, allowing us Night Moon people to vent our anger, but we can't do that anymore, it's too dangerous. Yi Xiaoyuan was very happy in his heart. He was happy that Night Sorrow had returned, happy that Night Sorrow was so graceful and magnanimous. From his attitude towards Night Sorrow, Yi Xiaoyuan had a better understanding of Night Sorrow's temperament. While moving forward, Night Sorrow gave Xuanhuan and the members of the God-slaying squad an introduction. Both sides greeted each other politely. They were all proud people, and since Xuanhuan did not understand the members of the God-slaying squad, he naturally looked at them with normal eyes. Although Yang Lei, Ling Long and the others knew that Xuanhuan was following Night Sorrow into battle, they still had their doubts. Yi Xiaoyuan arranged for the members of the God-slaying squad to stay in an empty mansion. When Yi Shang was about to send them off, Yi Xiaoyuan shook his head and said, "Young master, you have other residences. Come with me and take a look. There's no need to go through so much trouble. I'll stay here." Night Sorrow said. Baidu search love go little say w.aiqx. Come, young lord, you are now the person with the highest authority in the Night Moon dynasty, so naturally, you have to have a place to give orders. This subordinate has tidied up and built a mansion right next to the former Wuyo mansion, which is very close to here. Everyone can go over and take a look, and it will be convenient for you to walk back and forth in the future. Yi Xiaoyuan bowed and said. That's fine, then let's go over now. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said. Following that, Yi Xiaoyuan led the group to a very stylish and elegant residence. This place was newly renovated and built. In fact, this was originally young lord's residence. Because this is a subsidiary of Ashoka Manor, it's where the direct descendants of Ashoka Manor reside. Okay, then I'll stay here for now. Night Sorrow nodded. As for the lintel, I really don't know how to hang it. Yi Xiaoyuan exhaled and said. After confirming that Night Sorrow was a direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty, Yi Xiaoyuan understood that Night Sorrow's status was noble, but he didn't have a title, so it wasn't easy to hang the lintel of the mansion. That's not important, let's go in. I have something to tell everyone. Night Sorrow glanced at the group of Night Moon citizens behind Yi Xiaoyuan and said. After entering the mansion and sitting down, Night Sorrow took out a few storage rings and placed them on the table in front of him. Young lord, what are you doing? Yi Xiaoyuan looked at Night Sorrow in confusion. These are some resources that Xuanhuan and I obtained from killing some opponents in the City Lord's mansion. Night Moon City has many things to do and needs resources to rebuild. Everyone also needs to improve their cultivation, so elder, you can arrange it as you see fit. Night Sorrow said. No, we can't take your resources. Yi Xiaoyuan refused. Take it. Don't reject the young lord's kindness. 2 elders appeared in the mansion. Ling Lan, Ling Yuan, 2 law enforcers. They really are law enforcers. Yi Xiaoyuan looked at the 2 elders excitedly. Night Sorrow also stood up because these 2 were beginner-level supremacies. We know about the young lord's deeds, so we came back. I'm Yi Ling Lan. Young lord, can you show us your identity jade token again? The elder called Ling Lan by Yi Xiaoyuan looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Night Sorrow nodded and took out his identity jade token and handed it to Yi Ling Lan. Yi Ling Lan's hands trembled as he held the jade token. Yi Ling Yuan, who was standing at the side, also stared at the jade token. After a while, Yi Ling Lan handed the jade token back to Night Sorrow. Young lord, can you use the spatial fissure? Night Sorrow nodded and activated his bloodline talent. He used the spatial fissure in the air. As Night Sorrow used the spatial fissure, a black spatial fissure appeared out of nowhere. Under the control of Night Sorrow's union of heaven and man, it closed very slowly. At this moment, Yi Ling Lan and Yi Ling Yuan bowed at the same time. Yi Ling Lan and Yi Ling Yuan of the Mad God lineage greets the young lord. Seniors, please don't. You are all seniors. Night Sorrow quickly helped Yi Ling Lan and Yi Ling Yuan up. We are the lineage of the 8th son of the Moon Monarch, Mad God lineage. The one in charge of the family is Mad God lineage. The next in charge of the family is Mad God lineage. Royal Uncle Xuanhuan's successor is the undefeated King Brother Xuanhuan. After him is Prince Wuyo. You are the only son of Prince Wuyo. Chapter 623. A genius remembers love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. There are many princes in the Night Moon dynasty. To determine if one is a direct descendant, it depends on the strength of their bloodline. Only those with a pure bloodline can use spatial rend. Others can use spatial rend. There is no problem with the purity of the young master's bloodline. Even if he is not from Wuyo's bloodline, he is from another branch of Prince Wumo's bloodline. He is worthy of being called young master. Love Gone Little say Yi Ling Lan didn't give Night Sorrow a chance to deny his identity as the young master, even if he wasn't Prince Wuyo's son. Actually, this subordinate can determine whether or not young master is Prince Wuyo's legitimate son. Back then, during young master Xiaoxiao's 1-month-old birthday banquet, when Prince Linghuan was holding young master, the swaddling clothes slipped off. This subordinate could clearly see a red birthmark on the back of young master Xiaoxiao's right shoulder. Yi Ling Yuan said. Looks like I really am, but I'm now called Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took off his robe. Yang Lei reached out and pulled the back collar of Night Sorrow's robe. Everyone saw that there was a red birthmark under Night Sorrow's right shoulder. Yishang. Why is young master Xiaoxiao called by this name? Yi Ling Lan looked at Yishang, who had finished putting on his robes, with some confusion. It's to commemorate the members of the Yi clan who died protecting me. Those who were close to me died, and those who were close to me died. That's why my name is Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow exhaled and revealed the origin of his name. That's what I should do. I dare not comment on the young master's name. You are? Yi Ling Lan looked at Yi Xiaoyuan. Elders, Yi Xiaoyuan is from a branch family. In terms of seniority, I'm from the 4th generation. I've been staying in the Night Moon dynasty. Now that the 2 elders and the young master have returned, please take charge of the situation. Yi Xiaoyuan bowed and said. You've done well. In the past we went out to carry out a mission and missed the war. Later we felt that it was meaningless for us to come out and fight if our clansmen didn't return. Hence we have been living in seclusion in Taiqing City. When we heard that the young master destroyed the cities of the Tianfeng and Qingming dynasties, we decided to return. Love Gone Little say Yi Ling Lan bowed to Night Sorrow. I don't know how to address you, but you are an elder. You can't be like this. Yi Shang hurriedly helped Yi Ling Lan up. The 2 of us are from the same generation as Prince Linghuan. In the past, our cultivation bases were at the peak of the void inquiry stage. We didn't have a title before we entered the venerable realm. In the past we were attendants. However, in terms of cultivation base we can now serve as outer elders. Currently, the main force of the Night Moon dynasty isn't here. We will do what we should do well. Yi Ling Lan said. After that, Yi Xiaoyuan handed over the storage rings that Night Sorrow took out to Yi Ling Lan. Then let's see what kind of resources the young master took out and see how to use them in the most reasonable way. Yi Ling Lan said and opened the storage rings. W only /TW original 7M version R, ZQD #all V/pirated version. Piles of crystal stones and medicine bottles appeared in front of everyone. Night Sorrow introduced the 5th grade pills, 4th grade pills, 3rd grade pills, 4th grade pills, 4th grade pills, 3rd grade pills, pills that could increase one's cultivation base by 1 level, pills that could assist in cultivation and so on. There are so many resources. It's enough for us to recuperate in the Night Moon dynasty for a while. It's also enough for us to nurture our young people. Yi Ling Yuan looked at the resources on the ground and said excitedly. It's inconvenient to travel in the Night Moon dynasty. However, I can set up 2 teleportation formations. I just don't know how to set them up properly. Night Sorrow looked at Yi Ling Lan and Yi Ling Yuan and said. We need to set up one in the Night Moon dynasty while the other one needs to be set up in the safe zone between us and Taiqing City. After that, it will be connected to Taiqing City. Yi Ling Yuan said. No. If our teleportation formation is connected to Taiqing City's teleportation formation, we will be exposed directly. It won't do us any good. Night Sorrow shook his head and rejected this idea. He did not want to be high profile in the Night Moon dynasty as it would attract the attention of other forces. Young Master is right. In that case, 2 teleportation formations are not enough. Yi Ling Lan nodded and agreed with Night Sorrow's idea. How about this? I'll see if I can get more teleportation crystals. If I can, Then we can set up a teleportation formation in the Night Moon Dynasty in a secret place in Taiching City. This way it will be easier to exchange resources and collect materials. Knight Sorrow said. Young Master can decide on these matters. However, young Master's safety comes first. We were powerless in the past and no one would blame us. However, if something happens to young Master now, we won't be able to face the ancestors of the Yi clan. Yiling Lan said. Alright, then I'll trouble you two elders with Night Moon Dynasty. As for the Night Moon Dynasty, let them rebuild it. If they have the ability they can come and destroy it. As long as the people of the Night Moon Dynasty are still here, we must rebuild it. Knight Sorrow thought for a moment and said. Young Master, you don't have to worry about Night Moon Dynasty. We will take care of it. Yiling Lan said. Then Yiling Lan left with his men. However, he left a small group of guards at the entrance of Knight Sorrow's mansion. Captain, you've been in the limelight recently. It's not nice of you to not take us with you. Ling Long said. This can't be helped. With few people, I have the pagoda of time and space to protect me. I can retreat at a critical moment. With too many people, I can't fight and retreat whenever I want. Besides, this is my personal matter. I shouldn't drag you guys down with me. Knight Sorrow said. Captain, this is your fault. We are brothers. Shouldn't brothers face difficulties together? Lei Bao said. Yes. When the team is on the move, your words are orders. We will definitely carry them out. However, in private, I still want to say something. When I joined the team, you said that if I wanted to join the team, I should at least be a brother's back and be able to block a blade for a brother. Now you're saying that only you can block a blade for us and we can't do the same. Ling Long said. Alright. However, we need a more thorough plan. We need to investigate thoroughly before we can make a move. Knight Sorrow said. Leave the investigation to me. Xuanhuan said. You are the captain's brother. However, we can't let others take the risk for the god-slaying team. Ho Jian said. Knight Sorrow wants to avenge Night Moon Dynasty. I am his brother. It is only right that I help him. It has nothing to do with the god-slaying team. Xuanhuan said. Alright, Xuanhuan and I are friends who have gone through life and death situations together. He's very suitable for scouting because he can detect cultivators with high cultivation. We can't compare to him in this aspect, said Yi Shang. After hearing Knight Sorrow's words, no one had any objections. The god-slaying team followed Knight Sorrow's lead. Xuanhuan treated Knight Sorrow as his brother. No one would say anything else. After that, Yang Lei, Xikong Chuyu, Ling Long, and Nan Liue went out to buy food. Knight Sorrow and the others chatted casually. I can't tell that you look like a prince. Don't all princes wear awesome and flashy battle robes? Lei Bao looked at Xuanhuan and said. I'm the real deal. When I have time, I can take you guys to the Yun dynasty to see my prowess. Besides, isn't he a prince too? Why would he dress differently from me? Xuanhuan looked at Knight Sorrow and said. Then we must go to the Yun dynasty to see if there are any beauties. Yinjing said. Chapter 624. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We will provide you with interesting novels to read. Speak clearly. How am I wretched? Lei Zheng was not willing to be looked down upon by Xuanhuan. Then let's compete. Are you as tall and mighty as me? If you're not as fierce as me, then forget it. Come to our Yun dynasty and we'll treat you with good wine and meat. However, I'll remind you of the women you're interested in. Xuanhuan straightened his back and looked at Yun Zheng. Alright. I'm wretched. What I want to say is, you know who is the wretched one. Lei Zheng was speechless. Xuanhuan glanced at Lei Zheng with a victorious look in his eyes. After a while, Yang Lei and the others brought back a lot of delicious food. They went to a restaurant and ordered food. The restaurant sent someone to deliver it. Knight Sorrow and the others wanted to pay, but the female boss of the restaurant refused to accept it. Not to mention that you are the young master of Night Moon. Just because you stood up for Night Moon, our restaurant will never charge you. In the future we will deliver 3 meals a day. The female boss of the restaurant said. That's not appropriate. If that's the case, how can I have the face to eat a second time? Just accept the fee. Then we can eat whenever we want. There's no pressure at all. Knight Sorrow smiled and stuffed the spirit stones into the female boss's hand. After drinking, everyone dispersed. Ho Jian brought the members of the god-slaying team to the residence where they were stationed. Xuanhuan also followed. The main reason was that Knight Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Xikong Chuyu had just met and had a lot to talk about. Knight Sorrow was worried that it would be inconvenient for Ling Long and Nan Liue to go, so he arranged rooms for them. After that, Yi Shang and the other two went to the main hall of the mansion to drink tea and chat. There were also 2 servants cleaning the courtyard. They were all arranged by Yi Xiaoyuan. After drinking a pot of tea, Night Sorrow brought the two girls to Night Moon at the suggestion of the two girls and offered incense to the ancestors of the Night Clan. Then Night Sorrow brought the two girls to the entrance of the Night Moon Sea to take a look. It's too terrifying inside. Once you enter, you will have to face the spatial turbulence. Your protective energy won't be able to withstand it. Xianxia said. Yes. Unless you have a high-grade protective energy shield and the union of heaven and man realm to control the spatial turbulence and not get close. Otherwise you will have to grasp the power of the laws. Otherwise you will die. Night nodded. After staying on Night Moon Sky's island for a while, Yishang brought the two women back to their mansion to rest. With Night Sorrow's spiritual stone resources, Yi Linglan sent people out to exchange for resources and elixirs. The cultivation of the future generations was very important. It represented the future. Xuanhuan had been hanging out with the members of the god-slaying squad. Usually they would chat, but the rest of the time he would focus on raising his cultivation level. His cultivation level was high enough, but his cultivation level was still a little low. After all, not everyone could be like Night Sorrow, who could reach his cultivation level in advance. After resting for a while, Night Sorrow decided to move. He planned to go to Taiching City first and see if he could get a spatial crystal. Night Moon City couldn't be stagnant. If they wanted to develop, they needed to exchange all kinds of resources. After communicating with Yi Linglan and Yi Lingyuan, Night Sorrow set off with the god-slaying squad. Their first stop was the first base of Tianji Tower. Xuanhuan was going to take office there. Night Sorrow knew that Wu Lingfei was worried about him, so he wanted to go and tell her that he was safe. It was troublesome to not have a transmission array. Although their mounts were fast, it still took them over 20 days to reach the first base of Tianji Tower. Night Sorrow had Ho Jian take the god-slaying squad to rest. Then he took Xuanhuan and Ling Long to the inner part of the base. Love go go xiao shua 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 w. Ai chuex. So in the inner part of Tianji Tower wasn't a place that just anyone could enter. It needed to be checked layer by layer. However, Night Sorrow and the others were all Celestial Empire envoys, so there was no problem. In the underground hall of the base, Night Sorrow met Wu Lingfei, Lin Yuandao and the others. Night Sorrow and the others bowed in greeting. Night Sorrow, you're too reckless. Can't you think before doing something? Don't you know how worried everyone was? Guo glared at Night Sorrow. I thought about it and felt that there was no problem, so I did it. I'm sorry to have worried you seniors, Night Sorrow said, a little embarrassed. It's fine as long as it's safe. How's Night Moon City? Wu Lingfei asked. Because of the war, Night Moon City is a little desolate and dilapidated. However, it will change as we repair and recuperate. Night Sorrow nodded. Then, Lin Yuandao activated the Celestial Empire token for Xuanhuan, and Xuanhuan officially became a Celestial Empire envoy. What do you plan to do next? Lin Yuandao asked Night Sorrow. Kill, continue to kill. If we don't make them suffer, they'll think about making others suffer. Night Sorrow spoke of his plan. But you have to know that the dynasties have deep foundations and have more supremacies. Now that you've made them nervous, every city has a supremacy guarding it. It'll be risky if it's like what you did before, Lin Yuandao said. We'll hide from the mid-level and high-level supremacies. Night Sorrow can kill the low-level supremacies. It's useless to kill them anyway, so we'll capture the low-level supremacies and kill them. That's the only way to kill them effectively, Xuanhuan said. Night Sorrow is taking revenge for Night Moon Dynasty. Why are you cheering for him? Hua Haining, who had been silent all this time, spoke up. He had always been in charge of Xuanhuang's assessment. Night Sorrow is my brother. How can I be cheering for him? We're fighting for our brothers. We had a good time working together, Xuanhuang said to Hua Haining. Very good. All three of you can do it, Xialanjun said. I haven't introduced you yet. This is the Supreme Elder of Tianji Tower. Lin Yuandao introduced Xialanjun to Night Sorrow and the other two. Night Sorrow and the other two quickly bowed to Xialanjun. Everyone knew about the battle between Tianji Tower and the Tianfeng dynasty. Tianji Tower's high-level saint had appeared, but they didn't know who it was. After listening to Lin Yuandao's introduction, they all understood. Tianji Tower is people-oriented. If you really have any difficulties, don't forget that Tianji Tower is your backing, Xialanjun said. Xialanjun said. She was very satisfied with Yishang and the other two, especially Yishang. It had been many years since she had seen someone whose body was stronger than Yishang's. Vich version L, Chapter 7, a super/P. Yes, Night Sorrow. Is there anything you need help with? Lin Yuandao asked. He hoped to help Night Sorrow. Fighting for the Night Moon dynasty is the responsibility of Night Moon's descendants. This is what I should do. I can't involve Tianji Tower, but I would like to exchange some resources with Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Tell me about it. Lin Yuandao nodded to Night Sorrow. I can exchange space crystals with supreme-grade spirit stones, life crystals and soul crystals, Night Sorrow said. These are all things that can improve the strength of a venerable. The resources needed by a venerable are too scarce. Lin Yuandao nodded. The resources that Night Sorrow mentioned were all equivalent to space crystals. Chapter 625. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Dragon Spirit Pill? Could it be the Dragon Spirit Pill that can raise the cultivation of a supremacy? Xianxia asked in surprise. Yes. Night Sorrow nodded. You mean you can get the Dragon Spirit Pill? Xianxia stood up because this was too important. With the help of the Dragon Spirit Pill, there would be more high-level supremacies in Tianji Tower. Not for the time being. I can't refine it yet. Let's wait for a while. We'll talk about exchanging resources later. When Night Sorrow heard Xianxia's words, he knew that Tianji Tower wouldn't use the space crystal to exchange for other resources. He felt that he had thrown away his trump card a little too early. Fortunately, he could go to Taiching City to buy it. Night Sorrow is an alchemy master himself. If he has the materials, he can enter the supremacy realm and refine level 6 pills without a problem, Wu Lingfei said. When Xianxia heard Night Sorrow's words, she knew that Night Sorrow had other ideas. I remember that you're also an alchemy master. As for the Dragon Spirit Pill, you're overthinking it. I was just surprised. I didn't say that the space crystal must be exchanged for the Dragon Spirit Pill. Master K, if we have extra space crystals, it won't hurt to sponsor our members. Elder Hua, do you have any? Lin Yuandao asked. Yes, after we set up a teleportation array in the city we conquered this time, we still have a few extra. Hua Haining took out 3 space crystals. This was the foundation of Tianji Tower. As long as it wasn't a side door, it would have a stockpile. After looking at it, Night Sorrow took out 2 soul crystals, 2 life crystals and 20 top-grade spirit stones and placed them in front of Hua Haining. Elder Hua, do you think these resources can be exchanged? Yes. This is already a lot. Let's not talk about this for now. Tianji Tower hasn't rewarded you for using the origin stones to fund Chief Inspector Gua and me. Hua Haining didn't accept the resources that Night Sorrow had offered. Let's not talk about those things. Those are my contributions as a member of Tianji Tower. If Elder Hua thinks it's okay, then I'll accept these space crystals. Night Sorrow put the 3 space crystals into his storage ring. Alright, tell me where you want to set up the teleportation array, and I'll find someone to arrange it for you. Hua Haining sighed. He understood that Night Sorrow would not and was unwilling to take advantage of Tianji Tower. There's no need for that. He's a master of array formations himself, Lin Yuandao said with a smile. After chatting with Wu Lingfei for a while, Night Sorrow bowed to everyone present and was about to leave. Exquisite and Xuanhuan also bowed to the people in the hall before leaving the underground base with Night Sorrow. Supreme Elder, you've seen him. What do you think? Lin Yuandao looked at Xianxia and asked. He has great charisma and is a natural leader. Didn't you notice that the 2 celestial emissaries also followed his lead? The rarest thing is the pride in his heart. It should be said that it's the nobility in the depths of his soul. He saluted us and didn't lower his head because he saluted us out of respect. He doesn't think he's inferior. Very good. Xianxia said. That's why I plan to make him the young tower master. If it weren't for the matter of Night Moon, I would have announced it now, Lin Yuandao said. You can discuss this matter. I exist only to help when Tianji Tower is in danger. I won't say much about other things, nor will I interfere with your decisions. Xianxia expressed her attitude. After leaving the underground hall, Xuanhuan said excitedly, Night Sorrow, since you can refine dragon spirit pills, you must leave some for me. Otherwise, when your cultivation increases rapidly after you enter the venerable realm, I won't be able to play with you. Of course, that's not a problem. Night Sorrow nodded with a smile. Exquisite, aren't you going to ask if your captain will give it to you? Xuanhuan asked in puzzlement when he saw that Exquisite didn't say anything. That's because you don't know our captain. There's no need to ask. If anyone in our god-slaying squad needs it, our captain will naturally give it to them. Exquisite glanced at Xuanhuan and said, Is that so? Xuanhuan looked at Night Sorrow. Resources are meant to be used. Relatives and brothers, whoever needs it can use it. In fact, you don't have to ask. Night Sorrow nodded. He was very gratified that Exquisite could understand him. A unique is positive, and edition J, DQK Ta 30 all 4 backslashes robber plus. Edition K, alright. You guys win. It's my fault for being narrow-minded and not being open-minded enough. Xuanhuan lamented. He knew that his inner thoughts were still lacking. His definition of brothers was not enough. Don't think like that. If we can go through life and death together, that's what brothers are. There's no need to say anything else. Night Sorrow patted Xuanhuang's shoulder. Ah, when are we leaving? I'll scout the area and we'll continue to rob. After we get the materials, we can get whatever resources we want. You can refine pills and array formations and I can refine weapons. We won't need to ask anyone for help in the future. Xuanhuang laughed. It's good that you can refine weapons, but it's useless if you can't refine spirit weapons. Exquisite glanced at Xuanhuang and said, What are you talking about? I started refining this pair of scimitars as a tier 2 weapon. Then I upgraded them to tier 3, tier 4 and tier 5. As long as I enter the venerable realm, I can refine them and upgrade them to spirit weapons. Xuanhuang was very dissatisfied with Exquisite's distrustful gaze. That's not bad. Exquisite nodded. When they reached the surface base, the three of them arrived at the God-slaying squad's habitat. At this moment, the members of the God-slaying squad were sparring. Some were practicing their battle techniques, while others were practicing their array formations. These guys are really hard-working. Xuanhuang was somewhat impressed by the members of the God-slaying squad. During the time he had spent with them, they had not stopped cultivating. It was as though they did not know the meaning of fatigue. We're not princes. We don't have anyone to rely on. So we can only work hard ourselves, Exquisite said. F*ck. Why do you always have such a taste in your mouth? Xuanhuang was dissatisfied with Exquisite's words. F*ck? There are many people who have such thoughts about me. Who do you think you are? Exquisite retorted without backing down. You're awesome. You're ruthless. Can I shut up? Xuanhuang was rendered speechless by Exquisite's sharp words. You two are also Heaven's fate emissaries. In the future you'll be fighting side by side. Is there a need to quarrel like this? Night Sorrow said helplessly. Captain, you heard what he said just now. Yet you still have such thoughts about me. That's too dirty, Exquisite said. That's not what I said when I was agitated. Is there a need to go so far? Xuanhuang explained. He knew that it was inappropriate to speak to a woman like that. Give me some face. We'll be fighting side by side in the future. Let's go investigate later. Xuanhuang, you have to be careful. There are so many of us. We can't make any mistakes, Night Sorrow said to Xuanhuang. Chapter 626. A genius remembers love in 1 second? We provide you with interesting novels to read. The members of the God-slaying team gathered together. Night Sorrow also took out a map and chose some of the border cities of the various dynasties that could be attacked. If there's a teleportation formation in a city, we'll have to split up and destroy it. Otherwise, when the enemy's reinforcements arrive, it'll be like catching a turtle in a jar. We'll be in trouble, Night Sorrow said. How about this? After we've chosen a city to attack, I'll go in first to investigate. If there's nothing wrong, I'll come back and call for reinforcements. We'll go in and destroy the teleportation formation. The rest of us will start killing, Xuanhuang said. That's a good idea. Ling Long nodded. Shueling, Ho Jian, Yang Lei and the others had no objections. It was safer this way. You don't have to look at me. I'll do my best to investigate. Otherwise, if something happens, I won't be able to escape, right? But no one can be 100% sure about this. The cities aren't small. If someone is shameless enough to lie in a small tavern, I won't be able to detect it, Xuanhuang said. Let's plan for both sides. If the enemy has hidden experts, all of you will retreat. I'll hold them off. Xuanhuang, you cover the rear, Night Sorrow said. Okay, no problem. Xuanhuang nodded. Leader, Brother Yun is helping us fight. It's better for us to cover the rear if there's danger. Shueling and I will cover the rear, Ho Jian said. Brother Ho, don't say that. Night Sorrow is my brother. If there's danger, I won't leave him behind. Besides, we've fought together many times and have a tacit understanding. Also, the Venerable One's spatial restraint doesn't have much effect on me. Xuanhuang expressed his opinion. It's decided then. Yishang also felt that Xuanhuang was the most suitable person to bring up the rear. Aside from him, Xuanhuang's combat strength was the strongest. Most importantly, Xuanhuang was not afraid of the Venerable One's spatial fetters, so he would not be killed in one blow. Since Night Sorrow said so, no one objected. The only one who was the Venerable One, and the others were all dollar-pirated. The group took the teleportation formation to the Tai Ching domain and rested in an inn. At Xueling's suggestion, Night Sorrow decided to make a batch of masks for everyone. Then Night Sorrow arranged for Xueling to go to the workshop. Xuanhuan took the teleportation formation to investigate. Xuanhuan is a good person. The two of us have looted many cities in the past, but he didn't want any of the resources. Furthermore, he has always fought alongside me. We can be said to be good brothers. He hoped that the members of the god-slaying team would be able to accept Xuanhuan. After all, they would be fighting together for a long time in the future. It would not be good if there was a barrier or a knot in their hearts. Captain, don't worry. I was just teasing him today. Although he is the prince of the Yun dynasty, he doesn't have that kind of arrogant and lewd aura. That is rare and precious, Linglong said. All right, then we'll wait for his news. Xuanhuan can detect cultivators who are 5 levels higher than him. If he can see their cultivation, then we can fight. If he can't, then we can only hide, said Yishang. Xuanhuan returned on the night of the 3rd day. I've investigated 3 cities in the Golden Dragon King's empire. 2 of them have teleportation formations, Xuanhuan said after returning to the inn. Then I'll talk about the battle plan. After we enter the city, we'll take over the teleportation formation and leave a group of people to guard it. Kill anyone who gets close to the formation. We can't let any information leak or reinforcements appear, Night Sorrow said. Leader, wouldn't it be safer if we destroy the teleportation formation? Shuefei asked. Xuanhuan found 2 cities that can be attacked. If we destroy the teleportation portal, we won't be able to reach the next city quickly. When news of the attack spreads, Xuanhuan's investigation results will be nullified. Who knows if they will increase their manpower at the last minute. So this is my plan. After successfully attacking, we'll take the teleportation formation to the next city. One of us will stay behind to destroy the teleportation formation. The one who destroys the teleportation formation will leisurely sit on a flying demon beast to find the nearest city with a teleportation formation. Then we'll come back here to meet up, Night Sorrow said. Good plan. We can even get the teleportation formation's spatial crystal, Ho Jian said. Of course it's good. If you can come up with such a battle plan, then you can be the leader, Nan Liyue said as she glanced at Ho Jian. Nan Liyue, you're too much. As long as there's a chance, you're going to bite me, right? Ho Jian looked at Nan Liyue gloomily. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm embarrassed by your words. I've decided that I won't bully you in the future, Nan Liyue said. How rare. Ho Jian sighed. It's mainly bullying honest people, Lei Bao said. In fact, Ho Jian was very steady and didn't talk much. Lei Bao, are you looking for a beating? If I bully Ho Jian, then I'll bully you in the future? Nan Liyue was unhappy after being reprimanded by Lei Bao. It's still a little early. Chiyu, make a pot of tea. I'll see who bites harder, Night Sorrow said with a smile. He knew that these people were just bickering. No one really took it to heart. The sun set in the west and the sky darkened. After Night Sorrow led the team to the teleportation formation in the Taiching region, they teleported to the target city. After exiting the teleportation formation, Night Sorrow and the members of the god-slaying team directly killed the guards guarding the teleportation formation. Then, the members of the god-slaying team were teleported over. Everyone wear your masks. The teleportation formation is the most important. Xueling, Linglong, you two each lead a team to guard this place. Remember, safety is the most important. If you can't hold on, then destroy the teleportation formation and meet up with everyone in the direction of the City Lord's mansion. The rest of you follow me. We'll kill our way to the City Lord's mansion. Night Sorrow gave the order to the team. He was worried that the team's escape route and that the people in the city would call for reinforcements, so he left 2 teams behind. The Tianji Tower team used a joint attack formation in group battles. They were all in groups of 5. Now, Night Sorrow left 2 stronger teams behind. Then, Night Sorrow led the team and rode on the flying demon beast in the direction of the City Lord's mansion. Xuanhuan was more experienced. He kept lighting torches and throwing them out from time to time, setting the more important buildings in the city on fire. Brother Yun, you're very experienced in setting fires. Ho Jian said with a smile. I work with your captain more often. Some things just get easier after a while, Xuanhuan said as he threw torches from time to time. Everyone saw that Xuanhuan only lit the main buildings in the city, not the houses of the commoners. This meant that there was a bottom line when doing things. For example, the high-rise buildings where the city guards used crossbows to attack mounts belonged to the City Lord's mansion. Soon, the team arrived at the City Lord's mansion in the city. Ninth Senior Sister, take some people and surround this place. Kill anyone above rank 3 who resists. Xuanhuan, take some people and kill them. Target the warehouse. Knight Sorrow gave the order when he saw the old man flying out of the city lord's mansion. Chapter 627. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? I will provide you with interesting novels to read. That's right, I am Night Moon, Night Sorrow. It's time for you to pay your debt. Night Sorrow said coldly. You sure talk big. Then die. A battle blade appeared in the city lord's hand as he executed spatial fetters and charged towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow waved his reincarnation spear and executed the 7-star brilliant moon spear art. He charged towards the city lord and said, You are the one who will die. I am here to kill. The blade aura and spear light collided, causing an intense vibration. Night Sorrow was pushed back a distance. The city lord was a peak 3rd grade martial saint. His chi was much stronger than Night Sorrow's. Even though Night Sorrow's body was strong, they were not on the same level. Night Sorrow, who was pushed back, waved his reincarnation spear and charged forward again. The city lord was very strong, but Night Sorrow felt that he could still fight. Night Sorrow was pushed back again and again. However, he was not injured and was not affected much. Night Sorrow's body was very strong and the city lord was also in a tough spot. He planned to suppress Night Sorrow, but every time they collided, he would be pushed back a little. He was unable to suppress Night Sorrow. At this moment, the city lord's mansion was on fire. Yang Lei and the rest were not to be trifled with. In just a short moment, the city lord's guards were all killed. The god-slaying team also looted the treasury of the city lord's mansion. Nan Liyue also collected the resources. Night Sorrow and the city lord were fighting, and the others could only watch. It's about time. Night Sorrow muttered softly. Night Sorrow, who was prepared, immediately threw out spatial fetters. Then his bloodline ability erupted. He executed spatial rend and slashed towards the city lord. At the same time, he followed behind the spatial rend and quickly approached the city lord. The speed of the spatial rend was too fast. The city lord wanted to retreat, but it was too late. He could only wave his battle blade and take it head-on. Crack. With a crisp sound, the black-robed city lord's war blade was shattered by the energy of the space crack. At this moment, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear had also arrived. The expression of the black-clothed city lord changed greatly as he waved his hand to the side, intending to block Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. At this moment, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was using the vibrating force. Along with a strong vibrating sound, the right arm of the black-clothed city lord was shaken off by the reincarnation spear. However, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was also deflected by the black-clothed city lord's move. After all, the energy levels of the two people's true chi were different, and the difference was very big. The reincarnation spear that had been deflected still pierced into the ribs of the black-clothed city lord. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs. Coma's Night Sorrow's right arm moved horizontally, the city lord's ribs were cut by Night Sorrow, leaving a deep wound. After heavily injuring the black-clothed city lord with one move, Night Sorrow charged forward and struck out with the Hand of Desolation. Letting out a beastly roar, the black-clothed city lord punched out. As the two people's arms approached each other, the black-clothed city lord's fist showed signs of energy loss. Bang! The two people's palms collided with each other, producing a muffled sound. Night Sorrow stood still, but the black-clothed city lord was pushed back very far. He was already heavily injured, and with the Hand of Desolation's time acceleration, the energy in his fist was depleted. Therefore, he was unable to withstand Night Sorrow's Hand of Desolation attack. At this moment, Night Sorrow raised his left hand again, and a sky-piercing spear pierced through the air, directly piercing through the black-clothed city lord's throat. Charging forward again, Night Sorrow waved his right hand, and the reincarnation spear pierced through the black-clothed city lord's chest. He continued to fly with the black-clothed city lord, and then waved his arm on a wall of the city lord's mansion that was not burned. A moment later, the words Night Moon, Night Sorrow, I'm coming appeared again. With a shake of his arm, Night Sorrow flung the black-clothed city lord's corpse away. At the same time, he also took the unlucky city lord's storage ring. At this moment, Yang Lei picked up a long sword and shot it out, nailing the black-clothed city lord's corpse to the wall. Did it go smoothly? Night Sorrow looked at the god-slaying squad gathered at the entrance of the city lord's mansion and asked. Captain, everything went smoothly. Ho Jian cupped his hands and said. The resources in the warehouse are in our hands. Nan Liyue also took a step forward. Gather at the teleportation array. Night Sorrow waved his arm and everyone got on their mounts. Riding on his mount, Night Sorrow looked at the group of people behind him and asked again, "Is anyone injured? Can you continue to fight?" "No problem." The members of the god-slaying squad knocked on their breastplates and answered, "That's good. Ma Shizhuang, Tang Tian, Chuning, the three of you take it easy. Don't be too rash. Get used to the speed of battle first," Night Sorrow said to Ma Shizhuang and the other two. He was most worried about these three people. 13th Martial Uncle, don't worry. We know what to do, Ma Shizhuang said. Captain, don't worry. These three guys are very smart. They are all experts at sneaking up on us. Even if we fall, they won't fall, Nan Liu said with a smile. That's good. Night Sorrow nodded with a smile. He was relieved that Ma Shizhuang and the other two knew how to fight and knew how to fight. After getting on the teleportation array, Night Sorrow told Ho Qingjie to dismantle the teleportation array and return to the Taiqing region. Night Sorrow and the others then started the teleportation array. Because there was no direct teleportation array, the group of people went back and forth and arrived at this city called Dragon Whisker City. After killing the guards guarding the teleportation array, Night Sorrow left two teams behind. This time, Night Sorrow left behind Ho Jian and Lei Bao. Because they swapped, the problem of consumption was not obvious. 8 genuine first threes release F. The group of people flew towards the center of the city. Ling Long and Yun Huang asked for torches and the two of them started the fire together. Everyone be careful, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, this city is easier to fight than the previous one. There's only one guy who just entered the venerable realm in the city lord's mansion. He's much weaker than the one you just killed, Yun Huang said. Caution is the parent of safety. Night Sorrow was still very cautious. When they arrived at the city lord's mansion, Yang Lei and Ling Long led their people to kill. Yun Huang's expression changed. Oh no, there's an expert here. When Yun Huang shouted, two old men flew out of the city lord's mansion. One was a level 1 venerable who had just entered the venerable realm, while the other had a cultivation that Night Sorrow could not see. Ah, I'm here to collect the harvest of resources, yet I encountered such a thing. It seems that I, Jin Sun, will be the one to do this. The old man in the golden robe laughed loudly. Night Sorrow, it's my fault. Yun Huang's expression was very ugly because he was responsible for the wrong information. This has nothing to do with you. Night Sorrow waved his hand. Yun Huang has let everyone down. Yun Huang looked at the group of people in the god-slaying team apologetically. Didn't you hear? He just arrived. What does it have to do with you? Fight. If we die in battle, we brothers will fight side by side in the next life. Ling Long waved her weapon and shouted. What will come will come. Control the nether wolves and block them. Kill one of them with all your might, Night Sorrow said to Yun Huang, who had come to his side. Yun Huang nodded and waved his arm. The roaring shadow energy behind him charged towards Jin Sun. Jin Ji, be careful. Jin Sun shouted. Chapter 628. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. When Night Sorrow rushed forward, he used Space Rend and Soul Extinguishing Slash. He wanted to kill Jin Ji as fast as possible and then face Jin Sun. This way the others would be safe. As the signature move of Night Moon Dynasty, the power of Space Rend was famous in the 9 regions. It was mainly because of its speed and high attributes, which made it very difficult to defend. Seeing Night Sorrow's Space Rend appear, Jin Ji's body flashed to dodge. He dodged to the side of Night Sorrow, mainly because he didn't want to face the simultaneous attacks of Night Sorrow and Yun Huang. Die. Night Sorrow controlled the Soul Extinguishing Slash to change the attack route and directly slashed into Jin Ji's Spirit Sea. Jin Ji was hit by the Soul Extinguishing Slash. Although his Spirit Sea didn't crack, he still suffered a serious injury. When he was absent-minded, Night Sorrow's Reincarnation Spear also cut his throat. This made Yun Huang's twin scimitars attack useless. 2 scimitars pierced through Jin Ji's corpse. Go help the others, kill quickly. Night Sorrow shouted to Yun Huang, turned around and rushed towards Jin Sun. At this time Jin Sun was constantly attacking the Ghost Wolf. Although the Ghost Wolf was a soul body and was immune to most of the true Qi attacks, it still suffered a lot of damage. Everyone move faster the better. Yun Huang shouted to the others. He knew that Night Sorrow could protect himself with the Space-Time Treasure Pagoda, but he was worried that Jin Sun would attack the others. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs. So hearing Yun Huang's words, everyone fought even more fiercely. Yun Huang, who had taken Jin Ji's storage ring, also joined the battle. However, he still controlled the Ghost Wolf to assist Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow was under a lot of pressure. Although the ghost wolf was entangled, Jin Sun's attack was too overbearing. The pressure of the space rend was also great, suppressing Night Sorrow's speed. Jin Sun chased after Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow could only defend with all his might. Even so, he was bleeding from the corner of his mouth. The main reason was that Jin Sun's attacks were too violent, causing his internal organs to be shaken. While Night Sorrow was carrying Jin Sun, the others quickly washed the city lord's mansion with blood. All of you retreat. Same old tactic, then return to the old place and wait for me. Night Sorrow shouted at the members of the god-slaying team who had just finished massacring the city lord's mansion. Captain, we won't leave. Exquisite shouted as she rushed up to attack Jin Sun. However, Jin Sun sent her flying with a single attack and she was slightly injured. Cut the crap and back off. This is an order. Night Sorrow roared in a low voice. He knew that the others would not be able to help him. Jin Sun's attack power was too high. Fortunately, Ling Long's cultivation was higher. If the others dared to approach her, they would be instantly killed. Seeing Night Sorrow lose his temper, the members of the god-slaying squad were stunned. They were worried about Night Sorrow's safety, but if they didn't, they would be disobeying orders. Everyone back off. We have to believe in him. Yang Lei shouted. Following which, the members of the god-slaying squad retreated into the night, heading towards the teleportation array. Xuanhuan also brought the injured ghost wolf with him. Worried about others? You should be worried about yourself. This lord has no interest in small fries. As long as I can kill you, it will be a great merit. Jin Sun looked at Night Sorrow, his eyes filled with brutality. It was not that he did not want to kill the members of the god-slaying squad, but he was worried that Night Sorrow would run away. In his eyes, Night Sorrow was the crucial big fish. Love go little say networku, if you want to kill me then you'll have to show me your true abilities. Night Sorrow was under a lot of pressure. Fortunately, the void protective shield had a strong effect on Jin Sun's spatial binding. He was able to dodge most of Jin Sun's attacks. Night Sorrow used the dragon soaring steps to move around in the air, tangling with Jin Sun. Right now he wanted to stall for time so that Xuanhuan and the members of the god-slaying squad could leave safely. After fighting for a while, Night Sorrow felt that Xuanhuan and the members of the god-slaying squad should have left. He decided to give it a try. If he could win, then he would win. If he couldn't, then he would run. When he was pushed back again, Night Sorrow used the spatial rend. Then he brandished his reincarnation spear and charged towards Jin Sun. At the same time he stopped suppressing his void attribute True Qi. Spear light burst out. At the same time he communicated with Shao Kong and prepared to use his ultimate move. Jin Sun swung his long sword continuously. 3 ferocious sword qis neutralized the energy of Night Sorrow's spatial rend. However, at this time, the spear light from Night Sorrow's 7-star brilliant moon spear arrived in front of Jin Sun. Jin Sun no longer had the strength to use the long sword in his right hand to support his move. His left hand, covered in protective energy, punched towards Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. Bang! With a muffled sound, Jin Sun's left hand shattered at the wrist. It was shattered by the void attribute True Qi unleashed by Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. This was the tyranny of the void energy. Almost X New Chapter 6. Section, Previous. After crippling one of Jin Sun's hands, Night Sorrow controlled the spacetime pagoda that had already appeared behind him and smashed towards Jin Sun. This was also Night Sorrow's most violent attack. Night Sorrow didn't use the soul extinguishing slash because he knew that the gap between the two of them was too big. Jin Sun's soul defense must be very strong. The soul extinguishing slash wouldn't be effective so easily. Therefore he didn't use it. The spacetime pagoda ascended and descended at an extremely fast speed. Even if Jin Sun wanted to retreat, it was too late. He could only swing his long sword with all his might to block the spacetime pagoda's descent. Night Sorrow reached out with his left hand and grabbed the storage ring that Jin Sun was wearing on his left hand. Then his body flashed as he charged towards Jin Sun, who was below the spacetime pagoda. Suddenly Jin Sun's long sword bounced off the ground. He then quickly retreated. As he did so, he coughed up a mouthful of blood. Although the spacetime pagoda had not crushed him to the ground, it had still severely injured him. Night Sorrow controlled the spacetime pagoda to stop at its original position. He then charged under the spacetime pagoda. Once again he executed the 7 stars dazzling moon spear technique, aiming for Jin Sun's chest. Damn it! The heavily injured Jin Sun bellowed. The long sword in his right hand fiercely swung, releasing a sword beam. Jin Sun's furious sword beam was extremely ferocious, sending Night Sorrow flying. The ferocious power of the sword beam caused Night Sorrow to cough up a mouthful of blood. Even his internal organs were shaken. However, Jin Sun was also unable to stop himself from being hit by Night Sorrow's spear light. He was also forced to retreat. Night Sorrow, who was coughing up blood, swung his left arm. He then controlled the space-time pagoda to smash at Jin Sun once more. Night Sorrow had no other choice. The difference between the two of them was simply too great. If he clashed with Shifeng head-on, he would definitely get injured. Even if he seized the opportunity to launch a vicious attack, it would not work. Seeing the space-time pagoda smashing towards him once more, Jin Sun felt like going mad. Before him, Night Sorrow was clearly an ant. Yet, when Night Sorrow jumped around, Jin Sun could not hold him back. Additionally, he could not endure the space-time pagoda's continuous attacks. Helpless, Jin Sun quickly turned and fled. He did not want to face the space-time pagoda's attacks. Seeing Jin Sun turn and leave, Night Sorrow's figure flashed and entered the space-time pagoda. Next, he controlled the space-time pagoda to shrink before quickly fleeing. Night Sorrow controlled the space-time pagoda to fly across the sky and away from the battlefield. After putting some distance between them, Night Sorrow controlled the space-time pagoda to hide. After Jin Sun escaped from the space-time pagoda's attack range, he felt that something was amiss. He had already injured Night Sorrow. Even if Jin Sun relied on his speed to fight, he could exhaust Night Sorrow to death. There was no need for him to run. Chapter 629. Genius Remembers Love in 1 second/small? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Jin Sun flew back and forth in the air, searching for Night Sorrow's whereabouts. However, after 2 rounds of searching he found nothing. This made Jin Sun roar in anger. He was unwilling to give up. He had suffered too much this time. Dragon Whisker City's City Lord Mansion and important buildings had been destroyed. The City Lord had been killed, and the City Lord Mansion's resources had been robbed. This made it impossible for him to answer to the upper echelons of the Golden Dragon King. Most importantly, Jin Sun's left hand had been shattered by Night Sorrow. The storage ring on his left hand contained the taxes of several cities. Now he had lost all of it. Unable to find Night Sorrow, Jin Sun stood on the charred wall of the City Lord Mansion and pondered. He could feel his storage ring, but the vague feeling made him unable to determine the direction and location of the storage ring. This situation made Jin Sun understand that Night Sorrow had not gone too far. Instead he was hiding. However, he did not have any clue. Night Sorrow meditated and healed while communicating with Shao Kong. Shao Kong told Night Sorrow that there was no situation outside and that he could leave at any time. However, she could control the space-time pagoda to escape for a short period of time. Flying for a long period of time required the support of her master's soul power. After an hour, Night Sorrow had almost recovered. His body was incomparably strong. Ordinary attacks could not hurt him. This time he had been injured because Jin Sun's cultivation was too high. In addition, the medicine spirit's power was very strong. It had been helping Night Sorrow recover. After recovering, Night Sorrow planned to leave. He had no intention of killing Jin Sun. Other things aside, with the support of his profound cultivation, he could not do anything about Jin Sun's speed. As long as Jin Sun wanted to run, Night Sorrow could not do anything about it. At this moment, in an inn in Taiching City, the members of the god-slaying team looked worried. They were all worried about Night Sorrow's safety. Xuanhuan, what's that guy's cultivation base? Yang Lei asked. It's probably a peak mid-level venerable. If it's a late-level venerable, Night Sorrow won't be able to withstand it. He'll be killed in an instant. Night Sorrow won't be able to defeat a mid-level venerable, but it won't be easy for him to escape either. The defense of the space-time pagoda is real, Xuanhuan said. For now all we can do is wait. Our luck is really bad this time, Linglong said. Above, New M chapter Unspecified Currency. Xuanhuan regretted not taking out the soul-raising stone that Yun Tianlong had given him. Back then, under Night Sorrow's urging, everyone had retreated too quickly and he had not considered this problem. We have to believe in the captain, Ho Jian said. Do we need to inform Auntie Fei about this situation? Sikong Chu looked at Yang Lei and asked. There's no need. If Night Sorrow is fine, he's already on his way back. If something happens, it'll be too late for Auntie Fei to go, Yang Lei said softly. Night Sorrow sensed a strong wind outside. He controlled the space-time pagoda and left in the direction of the wind. After flying for 50 kilometers, Night Sorrow felt that his soul power was a little exhausted. He flashed out of the space-time pagoda and released Qianyu to fly out of the city. This range was not something that Jin Sun could detect, so it was absolutely safe. After flying out of Dragon Whisker City, Night Sorrow took out a map and looked at it. He then flew towards Swallow Flight City, which was the closest city with a teleportation array. Perhaps Jin Sun could also teleport to Golden Dragon City from Swallow Flight City, but Night Sorrow felt that the chances of encountering him were very low. Besides, he had always been wearing a mask. If he took it off, who would recognize him? After using 4 days, Night Sorrow arrived outside Swallow Flight City. He put away Tianyu, changed his clothes and wiped his face. Night Sorrow then walked into the city. Under the interrogation of the city guards, Night Sorrow said that he was doing a mission at Tianji Tower. The city guards immediately let him go. Now, no faction was willing to provoke Tianji Tower. Tianji Tower was too scary when they were angry. The previous war was a good example. Night Sorrow called for a beast carriage and walked towards the teleportation array in the city center. He was very relaxed and did not feel like he was walking in the enemy's camp. 4 hours later, Night Sorrow arrived at the teleportation array. After getting out of the beast carriage, Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment. He saw Jin Sun. Jin Sun's left hand was wrapped in bandages and his face was cold. He was full of resentment. Jin Sun also saw Night Sorrow. Looking at Night Sorrow's relaxed smile, Jin Sun frowned. Then he asked the guard guarding the teleportation array to start the teleportation. After Jin Sun left, Night Sorrow took the mid-grade spirit stone and started the teleportation. His destination was Zhongtong City. From Swallow Flight City to Taiching City, he needed to transfer once. Night Sorrow was not worried about his safety. Even if Jin Sun chased after him to Taiching City, he was not afraid. If they fought in Taiching City, he could still escape. If not, he could go to Tianji Tower. Would Jin Sun dare to chase after him? He could chase after him, but that would be suicide. When he arrived at Taiching City, Night Sorrow did not see Jin Sun chasing after him. Then he left. When he arrived at Golden Dragon City, Jin Sun remembered what was wrong. Why did he feel that Night Sorrow was strange? It was because Night Sorrow's aura was the aura of the person who fought with him. Jin Sun quickly teleported back to Swallow Flight City. He took the token and asked the guard where Night Sorrow was teleporting. He quickly chased after him to Zhongtong City and asked again where Night Sorrow was teleporting. Jin Sun chased after him to Taiching City. But at this time, Night Sorrow had already left with Tianyu for a while. He could not even see his shadow. This situation made Jin Sun sigh. When he had inquired in Zhongtong City that Yishang had been teleported to Taiching City, he knew that the chances of catching Yishang were slim. The Taiching region was a chaotic place and it was not a place where he, Jin Sun, could act presumptuously. In the end, the group of people from the god-slaying team were like ants on a hot pan. Ho Qingjie and Lei Zheng, who were in charge of dismantling the teleportation array, had returned, but Night Sorrow had not. No, I can't wait anymore. One of you can go to Tianji Tower to report Night Sorrow's situation. I'm going to Dragon Whisker City. Yang Lei could not wait any longer. She could not wait for Night Sorrow to be in danger. She had to continue waiting. Ninth Senior Sister, this is not your problem alone. We have to think about what to do. Being rash and impulsive won't solve the problem. Nan Liue pulled Yang Lei back. He's back. At this time, Xuanhuan walked out of the inn's door. His ghost wolf sensed Night Sorrow's aura. After putting away Tianyu, Night Sorrow tidied his robe and walked into the inn. You bastard, you worried us to death. Yang Lei went forward and punched Night Sorrow. Xikongchiyu's eyes were also filled with tears. It's okay, I'm fine. Night Sorrow hugged Yang Lei and Xikongchiyu. Then he led everyone into the courtyard that they had booked in the inn. What was the result in the end? How did Captain escape? Ling Long asked excitedly. Seeing Night Sorrow escape safely from a mid-level venerable, Ling Long's curiosity was piqued. Chapter 630. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I'll provide you with interesting novels to read. Captain, you're too low-key. I know it's not that simple. Love go little say. Chu Exquisite glanced at Yishang and said. She knew that this was Yishang. He was not ostentatious, but when it came to touching matters, Yishang would say them like cold water. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation, haha. It's simple. We fought and scared him away, Night Sorrow said with a smile. This is the storage ring of that unlucky city lord. Xuanhuan took out Jinji's storage ring and placed it in front of Night Sorrow. Xuanhuan, what's wrong? You don't seem to be in a good mood. Night Sorrow looked at Xuanhuan and asked. He felt that Xuanhuan's mood wasn't right. Night Sorrow, it was my negligence this time. Also, I should have taken out my old man's soul-raising stone. It's not that I didn't want to, But it was too urgent at that time and I forgot, Xuanhuan said to Night Sorrow. Just because of this? You're feeling down because of this? Let me ask you, do we need to rely on our ancestors? They can help us once, but how many times can they help us? It's more reliable to rely on ourselves. Besides, am I that weak? Night Sorrow said as he patted Xuanhuang's shoulder heavily. All right. Hearing you say that, I feel a little more at ease, Xuanhuang said. You can just give the storage ring to Liyue. Liyue, give Xuanhuang the rewards according to the ratio. Night Sorrow threw the storage ring to Nan Liyue. Okay, actually I'm already prepared. Nan Liyue nodded and opened the storage ring. After organizing the resources, she took out a small bag of spirit stones and handed it to Xuanhuang. Night Sorrow, this is boring. We're brothers. I fight for my brothers, not for resources. Xuanhuang directly opened the bag of spirit stones that Nan Liyue handed over. Night Sorrow stood up and extended his hand toward Xuanhuang. That's fine too. Now, I formally invite you to join our god-slaying squad. Do you want to join? Brother, if you say so, how can I not give you face? Besides, this group of brothers is not bad. Night Sorrow reached out and shook hands with Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow said to Nan Liyue, that's good. Let's rest here first. Liyue, help me look around and see if there are any suitable mansions. I'll buy one and set up a teleportation array there. Captain, I'm afraid that won't do. Our team has abundant medicinal pills and a lot of mid-grade spirit stones. However, we don't have enough high-grade spirit stones to buy a mansion in Taiching City. Love go little say Kunan Liyue smiled bitterly. Yes, it costs a lot to buy a mansion in Taiching City. Without a few hundred high-grade spirit stones, you won't be able to get it. But I can pay some. Xuanhuang said. Night Sorrow has no problem with this. He's a rich man. Buying a few mansions isn't a problem for him. Liyue, you just have to pick a good one. Pick one with a large area. Yang Lei said. Yes, don't worry about the price. Buy it and use it as a stronghold for the Night Moon Dynasty. Find one with a large area. Night Sorrow said. We don't lack money. There's nothing we can't do. Liyue and I will go later. Captain, can you tell us how you got away? Ling Long was still thinking about the battle between Night Sorrow and Jin Sun. I'm injured, but he suffered a bigger loss. I chopped off one of his hands and took his storage ring. However, I need to refine it slowly. His soul imprint is stronger. Night Sorrow took out Jin Sun's storage ring and said, Captain, you chopped off one of his hands? Ling Long asked in surprise. Yes, but I didn't have it easy either. His attacks damaged my internal organs. His left hand is gone, so I'm a little scared. I can't compare with him. His cultivation base is deep and he's fast. If he wants to fight, he can run. If he wants to run, he can run. I just took advantage of him and ran back. Are you satisfied with the details? Night Sorrow said with a smile. I regret it. If I knew that Captain could win, I wouldn't have run. Ling Long said regretfully. Let me emphasize this once. In the future, when we fight, you must obey my orders. If I say retreat, then retreat. If you have any more doubts, then I won't bring you into battle again. Yi Sorrow looked very seriously at the group of people as he spoke. Captain, it's not that we don't want to follow your orders. Back then you were in too much danger. Ho Jian said. He couldn't kill me back then, right? But what would have happened if he had charged into our team? Would we have been wiped out? Night Sorrow looked at Ho Jian and roared. I understand. It won't be like this next time. Ho Jian nodded. I know you're doing this for my own good, but I'm the captain. I can't watch my brothers' lives be threatened. Night Sorrow sighed. In the future we'll just follow orders. Shouldn't we drink to celebrate? Xuanhuang said with a smile. Night Sorrow nodded. We have to drink. We leveled 2 city lord mansions. The results are good. We should have a lot of resources. Captain, these are teleportation crystals. Lei Zheng and Ho Qingjie stepped forward and handed 2 teleportation crystals to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took out 20 top-grade spirit stones. These 2 teleportation crystals are relatively small. They can only be used to create 2 copies. I'll give these resources to the team. Captain, it's not appropriate for you to do this. How many pills have you given to our brothers? At that time, everyone was using your pills for nothing. Captain, you need these teleportation crystals, but they're useless to us. Captain, just take them. Moreover, without you at the front, we wouldn't have been able to do such a thing. We wouldn't have been able to snatch the resources, Ho Jian said. Yes, Night Sorrow, you're not doing this. However, you're taking out 20 top-grade spirit stones just like that. Captain, you're not a fake. Why don't you take me in too? Ling Long said with a smile. Looking at Ling Long, Night Sorrow shook his head helplessly. You said that pretty boys aren't your cup of tea, but my face is paler. Today I'll provide good wine. Let's drink. After that, Nan Liyue went to the inn to order some dishes and the group happily drank some wine. After drinking, Nan Liyue and Ling Long went to buy a mansion. Night Sorrow also returned to his room. Night Sorrow, you can't do this in the future. I'm so scared. After entering the room, Sikong Chuyu hugged Night Sorrow's waist and cried. She had been suppressing her emotions in front of others. Now she couldn't suppress it anymore. That's right. You scared us to death this time, Yang Lei said. It's my fault. Chuyu, don't cry. Actually, you don't know the power of the space-time treasure pagoda. I'll show you. You won't have to worry about me in the future, Night Sorrow said as he patted Sikong Chuyu's back. Then Night Sorrow showed Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu how he entered the space-time treasure pagoda. You can do this? In other words, as long as the space-time treasure pagoda isn't refined, you'll be safe, right? Sikong Chuyu asked as she held Night Sorrow's hand. Yes, the space-time treasure pagoda is my treasure. How can others refine it? Night Sorrow said with a smile. Chapter 631. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Yes, I'm imprisoned. They can slowly deal with me, but you can call for reinforcements, Night Sorrow said with a smile. In fact, Night Sorrow was not telling the truth. Saints could refine holy treasures. In the past, Jiyu Haitian did not touch the space-time pagoda because he did not want to kill Shao Kong. Spirit treasures and holy treasures without artifact spirits would be much weaker. Actually, Jiyu Haitian's strength is not enough to refine me. I resisted for a while that time and I didn't feel much pressure. Shao Kong's voice sounded in Night Sorrow's mind. So, ordinary saints can't hurt you? Night Sorrow asked. It's very difficult to refine me without high-level attributes. However, if they want to attack you in the pagoda, there are still ways. For example, soul attacks, law attacks, and so on. I'm saying this to remind you that the space-time pagoda is not invincible unless your cultivation level increases and you can completely control it. Shao Kong and Night Sorrow conversed. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood that his own strength was the absolute truth. Why are you nodding? Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Haha, I'm talking to Shao Kong, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu smiled at Night Sorrow. They felt at ease. They felt that with the space-time pagoda protecting him, Night Sorrow's safety was not a problem. How's the soundproofing here? Night Sorrow looked at the two girls and asked with a smile. Are you going to do something naughty? Fortunately, Dian thought about this. The rooms here have soundproofing and detection arrays, Yang Lei said with a red face. Yes, I miss Ninth Senior Sister and Chuyu. Night Sorrow nodded and reached out to hug Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Then Senior Sister will be satisfied. Yang Lei nodded. Sikong Chuyu blushed and didn't object. Night Sorrow used his arms to carry Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu onto the bed. Then he took off his robe and jumped onto the bed. At this time, the two women were very familiar with each other and did not care about each other's opinions. They were able to let themselves go. While cultivating and combining their cultivation methods, they also gave Night Sorrow all kinds of shocks and enjoyment. After tossing and turning for half a day, the three of them finally took a bath and began cultivating. As the sun set, the three of them walked out of the room. Nan Liyue and Ling Long also came back. The two of them looked at the three larger mansions. There are so many mansions for sale in Taiching City now? Night Sorrow asked in surprise. He felt that a mansion shouldn't be easy to buy. He had spent a lot of effort to buy a mansion in Dongshan City. Then I'll tell you the truth. Two of them were originally the mansions of the core members of the Night Moon Dynasty. They were occupied by the Tianfeng Dynasty, but how can they live in peace? So the price is relatively low and they are in a hurry to sell it. Nan Liyue said. Let me ask, the mansions used to belong to the Night Moon Dynasty. Can they get the official deeds? Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with anger. Sai, if there's someone in the City Lord's mansion, they can still get a new deed if they say that they lost it. Nan Liyue said. Then what's the cultivation of the people who occupied the mansions? Night Sorrow exhaled and asked. They're all beginner venerables. It's probably because the old people of the Tianfeng Dynasty aren't willing to live there. Because they don't feel comfortable living there, they rewarded the new members of the venerable realm. The Night Moon Dynasty has revived and the entire Taiching City knows about it. So these two new venerables of the Tianfeng Dynasty don't dare to live there and are in a hurry to sell it. Ling Long said and explained the situation in detail. Not only do I want the mansions, but I also want their lives. How about this? Xuanhuan and Ling Long go to make the trade. I want to kill them. Night Sorrow directly said his plan. That's fine too. The manager of the first mansion is a skinny first-level venerable with a goatee. You can tell at a glance. The manager of the second mansion is a curly-haired man. You can tell at a glance that he's a descendant of a different race. Ling Long explained the situation of the two mansions. Let Ho Jian and the others make the trade. The ghost wolf has almost recovered. When the time comes, I can cooperate with you. That way we can end the battle quickly. Xuanhuan said. Night Sorrow nodded and called Ho Jian over. He told him his plan. Then, everyone discussed and waited for tomorrow to act. OA unique 0 positive I version, plus its O is D steal the Ek version. Night Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu had a crazy night. In the morning he practiced his spear art for a while. Ling Long, Nan Liyue, Ho Jian, and Xuanhuan went to Night Sorrow's place. Everything is ready. Let's set off. Night Sorrow said. Ho Jian, Ling Long, and Nan Liyue were in the front. Night Sorrow, Xuanhuan, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu were behind. The two women had put on their veils. In the world of cultivators there were some women who wore a veil. Ho Jian acted like a young master and signed a contract with the other party in a very generous manner. The deal was completed for 300 high-grade spirit stones. When the original owner of the mansion was sent out with two servants, Nan Liyue, who was following behind, made a hand gesture, indicating that it was time to act. Night Sorrow and the others didn't act immediately. It wasn't good to be too close to the mansion. That would bring instability to the mansion. When the man with a goatee arrived on the street, Night Sorrow waved his hand. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu blocked his escape route. Xuanhuan commanded the ghost wolf to block the man's escape route. Night Sorrow first used the soul-extinguishing slash. Then he used the 7-star glorious moon spear. Elementary Supremes weren't Night Sorrow's opponent. With the interference of the ghost wolf, the man was killed by Night Sorrow's soul-extinguishing slash. His spirit sea was then split open. Night Sorrow rushed over and stabbed the man's forehead. The inside of the man's head was shattered. Then he took the man's storage ring. They didn't kill the man and directly left. Too fast. All of this happened in a flash. By the time someone noticed, Night Sorrow and the others had already disappeared without a trace. After circling around, they met up with Ling Long, Nan Liyue, and Ho Jian at the newly bought mansion. This mansion can't be used for the time being. It will still be noticed. Also, don't buy the mansion that used to belong to the Night Moon dynasty. Liyue, go buy a few servants to take care of this place. Don't let our people come here. After that, go buy the mansion that has no problem. After thinking for a moment, Night Sorrow made the arrangements. The main reason was that he didn't want to be noticed. That would only bring trouble to himself. Okay, Captain, don't worry. Everything will be done today. Nan Liyue nodded. Then go and do it. After you're done, go to the inn and call everyone. We'll move there and see if it's safe. If it's safe, set up a teleportation array. It will be more convenient in the future. Night Sorrow threw the storage ring to Nan Liyue. Then he left with the two girls and Xuanhuan.